Chapter 1. The stray dog that suppressed for 3 centuries in the realm of cultivation, Lin Bufan, who traversed the world of immortals, remained an ordinary mortal until the age of 20, unable to cultivate. Following a marriage arrangement presided over by the sect master, he awakened the blessing of progeny system, granting him the ability to grow stronger by having children. From that moment onward, he transformed into a being of innate Taoist physique, a peerless sword embryo, and a true dragon and phoenix constitution, rising abruptly in power. Behold, he is Lin Bufan from the Xiao Peak, the son of Master Lin Yuan. This Lin Bufan appears to be merely in his 20s, yet he is said to be an ordinary mortal with no cultivation. Alas, poor Master Lin Yuan, whose prowess ranked among the top 5 in the Qingyun Sect, has long been without a companion. After a romantic entanglement with a mortal 2 decades ago, his partner tragically perished during childbirth. A year prior, during a scramble for a secret realm among several sects, he was grievously injured and subsequently fell, leaving Xiao Peak's disciples vulnerable to being poached by other peaks. Indeed, the offspring of a mortal, Lin Bufan, seems to be even less capable than a mere mortal. Master Lin Yuan pondered for over 20 years, seeking various precious elixirs and herbs, yet Lin Bufan remains incapable of cultivation. Those rare medicinal materials, if applied to a dog, would likely have led it to foundational establishment by now. This is precisely why the disciples of Xiao Peak have abandoned it. This waste truly is a waste. Ha. Indeed, what a disgrace to Master Lin Yuan. I have heard that the elders from several other peaks wish to disband Xiao Peak, as the 5 peaks of Qingyun Sect require a presence to ensure the sect's survival. There is a saying in Qingyun Sect, the stray dog of Qingyun suppresses the extraordinary for 3 centuries. Ha. I have also heard that Lin Bufan's arrival at the main peak is merely the sect master's way of urging him to leave the sect. It is about time he departed, merely a mortal. Upon the main peak of Qingyun Sect, Lin Bufan gazed upon the majestic hall ahead, listening to the surrounding whispers, and sighed in relief. The stray dog of Qingyun suppresses the extraordinary for 3 centuries? Quite poetic indeed. Lin Bufan murmured softly, a smile gracing his lips. Beside him stood a man in his 30s, clad in the same Taoist robe of Qingyun Sect, who cast a glance at Lin Bufan. Junior brother Bufan. The world of cultivation is a ruthless battleground, rife with the strong preying upon the weak. Do not take it to heart. Master Lin Yuan has instructed the sect master to take good care of you. This man, with a simple and honest demeanor, was Luo Ping, the eldest disciple of the sect master, aged 39. Though not the most skilled in cultivation or the most gifted, he was the most steadfast, earning the sect master's favor, and thus frequently entrusted with various tasks. No worries, brother Luo Ping. I am merely a bit fatigued from my journey from Xiao Peak. Lin Bufan replied with a smile. Indeed, Luo Ping said, offering no further words, continuing onward. He was not one to offer consolation, and for him, external opinions bore no weight. Lin Bufan glanced back, observing the mist shrouding the peak of Qingyun Sect. Were it not for the numerous precious herbs his father had provided over the years, endowing him with an extraordinary physique, it would have taken him quite a while to ascend from Xiao Peak to the main peak. As for the surrounding comments, Luo Ping paid them no heed whatsoever. Having lived 2 lives, he truly did not regard such matters with any seriousness. Even if he did, what difference would it make? He was merely a 3rd-year student who, after an all-night study session for his postgraduate entrance exam, found himself awakened in this realm of cultivation, facing Lin Yuan, who bore a kind expression tinged with authority. As an infant, he possessed the soul of a 20-year-old, remaining quiet and composed, which led his father to name him Bufan. On that day, Xiao Peak was adorned with colorful decorations, bustling with activity. Red lanterns and silks draped over much of the mountain, reflecting the joy permeating the entire Qingyun Sect, indicative of Lin Yuan's affection for him. Alas, when Lin Bufan was merely 2 years old, Lin Yuan, filled with anticipation, conducted a spiritual root test on him, only to discover that he possessed a mortal body, rendering him incapable of cultivation. The grades of spiritual roots range from mortal to inferior, average, superior, and exceptional. Despite bearing the extraordinary name of Lin Bufan, he was but an ordinary being. Over the past 20 years, he had indeed consumed countless medicinal substances. His disciple, Luo Ping, under the directive of his master, brought Lin Bufan from Xiao Peak. As Lin Bufan momentarily lost his focus, they had already arrived at the entrance of the Qingyun Sect's main hall. Luo Ping gave Lin Bufan a gentle nudge on the arm, straightened his attire, and proceeded into the grand hall. Lin Bufan followed closely behind, entering as well. Upon entering the hall, Lin Bufan immediately sensed dozens of presences locking onto him, scrutinizing him from head to toe, inside and out. Fortunately, there was no malice emanating from these auras. He slightly raised his gaze and noticed 5 individuals seated in 6 prominent positions, with one seat conspicuously vacant. His father Lin Yuan's disciple Lin Bufan pays respects to the sect master. Greetings to all esteemed uncles and elders. Luo Ping stood aside, bowing, while Lin Bufan approached the center of the grand hall and performed a respectful salute. Rise, Bufan. It has been some time since we last met, spoke Lu Chong, the sect master of Qingyun, a 5th-stage nascent soul cultivator. He had visited Lin Bufan at birth and during the spiritual root testing, but had not returned since. Thank you, sect master. Lin Bufan cast a glance at the vacant chair before clasping his fists in salute to the sect master, then straightened his posture. Haha. Who would have thought that Lin Xiao, once so formidable, would ultimately find himself in the plight of a mortal? I wonder if Lin Yuan can smile from beyond. Came an unharmonious voice. Lin Bufan narrowed his eyes at the speaker. What? Do you harbor resentment? For a cultivator, the most lamentable fate is to sever the lineage. The individual, upon noticing Lin Bufan's gaze, scoffed and continued speaking. Daihe, that is enough. Regardless of whether Bufan can cultivate, he is nonetheless the bloodline of Lin Yuan. Given that Lin Yuan has only recently passed, what is your intention as his elder? Before Daihe could speak further, Lu Chong interjected to halt him. Lin Bufan stood still, casting a glance at the Dai River, then crossed his arms and lowered his head in contemplation. Humph. A cold snort escaped Dai River, presumably in reaction to Lin Bufan's demeanor. Bufan, you are already 20 years old. In the realm of cultivators, this age is still considered youthful. However, for mortals, it is the age when discussions of marriage commence. Marriage discussions? Lin Bufan paused, lifting his gaze towards Lu Chong. As you are aware, within the jurisdiction of the Qingyun Sect, there exists an abundance of cultivation families. Your father has previously sheltered numerous clans, and one of them arranged a betrothal at the time of your birth. Following Lu Chong's gaze, Lin Bufan noticed 3 individuals not clad in the Qingyun Sect's attire standing to his left. Among them was a young woman in white, her fair skin radiant. At the moment Lin Bufan's eyes met hers, he could not help but notice her exquisite features, delicate brows, a cherry-red mouth, and crescent-shaped eyes that sparkled with a hint of stubbornness and defiance. In terms of beauty and figure, even Lin Bufan would rate her a remarkable 98. Chapter 2. Are you serious? Su Yushua. At that moment, Lu Chong spoke. Sect Master. Su Yushua stepped forward from the crowd and stood beside Lin Bufan, bowing respectfully towards Lu Chong. Su Yushua, this is Lin Yuan's son. Your Su family has a marriage pact with him. However, he is a mortal, a body incapable of cultivation for life. Do you consent? Is it truly her? Even Lin Bufan was taken aback that this woman was to become his bride. Was this a stroke of fortune from the heavens, or perhaps divine intervention sending him a beautiful companion? He was a mortal body, destined to enjoy only a few decades of life. Reflecting on the attitudes of those around him, Lin Bufan shook his head. Such fortunate events were too good to be true. Not to mention, this radiant woman was no fool. Others who traversed realms were either sacred bodies or possessed imperial bearing. He, a being incapable of cultivation, was to wed a stunning bride? Without the protection of a sect, he would likely meet his end in mere days, as he had witnessed countless tragedies in this world. Sect Master, if I marry him, will you protect my Su family? Su Yushue did not even glance at Lin Bufan, but instead looked up earnestly at Lu Chong. Humph. An elder nearby scoffed, a powerful aura pressing down upon them, leaving the young woman pale, and even Lin Bufan struggled to breathe. Lu Chong raised his hand, and the oppressive force dissipated instantly. Su Yushue and the 2 accompanying her immediately knelt, exclaiming, Sect Master, I mean no coercion, I only seek a promise. I do not ask for my Su family to endure through the ages, but merely to survive this calamity and enjoy a few years of peace. Lin Bufan observed Su Yushue, his eyes filled with confusion. So, she had come with ulterior motives. His sympathy dissipated. Though my nephew is a mortal body, he is still the progeny of my senior brother Lin Yuan. If you could bear him a son or daughter, it would be a contribution to our Qingyun Sect. Lin Bufan was of a mortal physique, unable to cultivate. Surely, his descendants could not all be the same, could they? Lu Chong had promised Lin Yuan that he would take care of Lin Bufan, and ensuring a successor for Lin Yuan was the greatest effort Lu Chong could muster. Su Yushue gazed at Lin Bufan, her eyes shimmering. Up close, Lin Bufan could see her clearly. Su Yushue's skin was as white as snow, radiantly enchanting, and her white attire accentuated her celestial aura. Although Lin Bufan was unaware of the Su family's circumstances, Su Yushue's demeanor undoubtedly indicated she was of the status of a young lady from a prominent family. As Lin Bufan observed, Su Yushue also glanced back at him. Setting aside other matters, even though Lin Bufan could not cultivate, he was still quite handsome, standing at an impressive height of 6 feet, with a tall, slender frame and a hint of heroism in his brow, reminiscent of Lin Yuan's imposing presence. Despite being unable to cultivate due to prolonged medication and training, Lin Bufan possessed considerable physical strength and a commendable aura. If he were the subject of such scrutiny, most young women would likely feel embarrassed. However, Su Yixue was preoccupied with the future of the Su family. Although Lin Bufan could not cultivate, he was indeed handsome, and should she marry him, it would not be a loss. With diligent guidance for their offspring and the backing of the Qingyun Sect, their descendants would undoubtedly have the resources for cultivation, ensuring the Su family's survival. As for her, in the worst-case scenario, she would decide her path in 4 or 5 decades. Su Yixue also possessed spiritual roots, albeit of a lower grade. Such roots allowed her to practice immortality, albeit with modest achievements. Had she possessed superior roots, the Qingyun Sect would likely vie for her. If she could sacrifice 4 or 5 decades for the Su family to weather this crisis, she would gladly do so. Very well, I agree. And I hope the sect leader can extend some care to the Su family, Su Yixue declared, retracting her gaze and addressing Lu Chong. Lu Chong nodded, and then turned his attention to Lin Bufan. Bufan, do you have any objections? He inquired. What objections could he possibly have? Su Yixue was a member of the esteemed Su family, and as the second young lady of the house, she was renowned for her beauty. Marrying Lin Bufan would be seen as a slight. There were expectations that Lin Bufan would be cast aside. The sect leader was merely acting out of sentimentality. Otherwise, who would care about the life of a mere mortal? It was likely for the sake of Lin Yuan, the senior brother, to secure a wife for a mortal, and still seek the protection of the Qingyun Sect. Discontented murmurs arose among those present. Lin Bufan sighed and said, Master, I am grateful for your kindness, but I possess no cultivation. Why burden others? Su Yixue was taken aback, abruptly turning her head. She herself had no objections. Yet this Lin Bufan dared to voice his. After all, he was merely a mortal. To marry a wife with cultivation would be akin to reaping the rewards of 8 generations of fortune. What if he were a commoner? Moreover, her beauty was renowned throughout Qingkong City, often compared to the illustrious Hu Yu of the Hu family, known as the 2 beauties of Qingkong. Did Lin Bufan truly feel he could afford to be choosy? To refuse? As the host's heart was filled with melancholy, a voice suddenly emerged in Lin Bufan's mind. System? As an experienced player, Lin Bufan was well aware of what a system entailed. He never anticipated that, after 20 years of being an ordinary mortal, he would finally receive a system. My son's unyielding fortune system? Lin Bufan was momentarily taken aback. Please provide instructions. The system's response ignited a surge of joy within Lin Bufan. This was no mere dream. However, he quickly questioned, what do you mean by my son's unyielding fortune? The system explained, due to the host being a naturally ordinary body, as the saying goes, a father's status is elevated by his offspring. The more descendants the host has, the more substantial the rewards. It is hoped that the host will marry multiple wives and bear many children, as this lineage will continue indefinitely, thereby granting unparalleled authority. Lin Bufan was exasperated. Is this even a serious system? He felt as though he was being turned into a breeding stallion. While having numerous descendants could indeed enhance his strength, this was utterly absurd. The system reassured him. The system is always serious. Serious, my foot. Lin Bufan could hardly suppress his urge to scoff. Nonetheless, recalling the expectations Lin Yuan had for him and fulfilling his father's wishes, Lin Bufan decided to endure. Ultimately, having a system was better than not having one at all. Chapter 3. Confirming it is not a matter of yin and yang. Open the beginner's package. Congratulations, host. You have opened the beginner's package and received Transcendence Pill, which, when consumed, can enhance the host's physical constitution. Congratulations, host. You have opened the beginner's package and received the Yin-Yang Dao Scripture. As the saying goes, all things are divided into yin and yang. Solitary yang does not generate. Solitary yin does not thrive. The Taiji gives rise to the 2 forms, which are yin and yang. The 2 forms produce the 4 symbols. The 4 symbols give birth to the 8 trigrams, and the 8 trigrams create all things. Cultivating this technique can extend the host's lifespan. Congratulations, host. You have opened the beginner's package and received the Breaking Heaven Spear technique. With this spear, I can shatter mountains, sever rivers, and pierce the heavens. Mastering this technique will enable the host to vanquish all demons. Upon hearing the contents of the system's beginner's package, Lin Bufan couldn't help but wince at the absurdity of it all. Surely, the system was exaggerating? However, the promise of longevity from the scripture was indeed a noteworthy benefit. For an ordinary person, the average lifespan rarely exceeds 100 years, typically ranging from 70 to 80. Yet, for cultivators, once they enter the realm of immortals, their lifespan would double, and the higher their cultivation, the longer they would live. Do you, not wish for this? Seeing Lin Bufan's expression shift dramatically, Su Yixue could not help but inquire. Extraordinary, do you have any demands? Lu Chong inquired, unable to suppress his curiosity. Lin Bufan, regaining his composure, swiftly shook his head, jesting that with the system already issuing tasks, refusal was not an option. Besides, considering such a woman, even in 2 lifetimes, he would never dare to entertain such thoughts. Indeed, throughout both his lives, he had remained a solitary figure, never having even brushed against a woman's hand. He was oblivious to whether a girl's hand bore fine hairs, creases, or whether it felt soft, gentle, or smooth. With Su Yixue's stunning beauty, if she were to grace Blue Star, she would undoubtedly eclipse all the female stars. Disciple, I have no demands. I merely wish to marry soon. If I could have a son or daughter, it would serve as a legacy for the Lin family. Just moments ago, he had expressed concern about potentially wronging Su Yixue, yet now he spoke of an imminent marriage. The surrounding individuals quickly transitioned from astonishment to realization. This young man was being deliberately provocative. Had they not been elders, they might have already given Lin Bufan a couple of slaps. Even Lu Chong couldn't help but cast a disapproving glance at Lin Bufan. Since that is the case, let us proceed with the wedding the day after tomorrow. Luo Ping. This matter is significant for Qingyun Sect. You shall preside over the ceremony. As for the other clans, do not notify them. Consider it an internal affair of Qingyun Sect. Understood. With Lu Chong's command, Luo Ping readily accepted. In the coming days, Su Yixue shall reside in the guest quarters of the main peak. Yes. Thank you, Sect Master. Once married, Su Yixue would ensure the survival of the Su family. If the Sect Master has no further matters, I shall take my leave, Lin Bufan said, clasping his fists in respect. Good. As Su Yixue and the others were escorted away by Luo Ping, Lin Bufan followed suit, leaving the grand hall nearly empty. With only a dozen or so individuals remaining, elders and pavilion masters of Qingyun Sect. Sect Master, the disciples of Xiaoyan Peak have mostly departed. Is it reasonable to leave Lin Bufan in charge? One elder remarked, voicing concerns. I propose appointing Elder Dai He to oversee Xiaoyan Peak, restoring Qingyun's 5th peak to ensure the sect's safety. Indeed, historically, Qingyun Sect has always been governed by 5 peaks, with no nascent soul stationed at Xiaoyan Peak. We could face dire consequences if a powerful foe arises. Another added, currently, Xiaoyan Peak is solely under Lin Bufan's control. I fear the array may not even be activated. I believe Brother Wang is a commendable choice. He has had a close relationship with Brother Lin Yuan and could be entrusted with significant responsibilities. Lin Bufan's arrival reaffirmed his identity as an extraordinary being. The position of the main peak's master was indeed enticing. Within the sect, there were numerous elders. Yet the 5 peaks represented the very core of power. Enough. Brother Lin Yuan's 3-year term has not yet concluded. Why the haste? Do not tell me the disciples of Xiaoyan Peak have left out of your own machinations. Have you forgotten how Brother Lin treated you in the past? Lu Chong's cold voice echoed, silencing all present with a single utterance. In the present day, although the Qingyun Sect may not be the most powerful, it certainly possesses a degree of influence. The matter of appointing a new sect leader can be discussed in 2 years. However, regarding the various families within the Qingyun Sect, if you find yourselves with idle time, it would be prudent to engage with one another. Endless disputes among the families hinder the development of the Qingyun Sect. Are you, as the responsible members of the sect, fixated only on these trivialities? Should anyone dare to cause trouble within the Qingyun Sect, let it be known that I, Lu Chong, will not be merciful. After Lu Chong's words, no one dared to speak further. With a cold snort, he turned and departed. Once the sect leader had left, the remaining individuals gradually followed suit. Only a few exchanged glances, their eyes reflecting a hint of displeasure. Xiao Ruo. Master, I am here. On Xiaoyan Peak, Lin Bufan had just returned and began to call out. A young girl with a cherubic face peeked through the window. Xiao Ruo was a little girl whom Lin Yuan had rescued previously, being quite young at the time. She was brought to Xiaoyan Peak to grow up alongside Lin Bufan. Lin Yuan intended for Lin Bufan to have a companion, as she was 2 years his junior. She, too, possessed immortal physique, yet she could cultivate, albeit without mastery, and currently remained at the 3rd level of qi refinement. Were she any other cultivator, she would have long approached, or even achieved the foundation establishment stage. The stages of cultivation, qi refinement, foundation establishment, core formation, nascent soul, spirit transformation. And great accomplishment, each more arduous than the last. Now, go prepare some red silk, candles. Your master is to be wed. Lin Bufan waved his hand and declared, wed. Xiao Ruo was taken aback. Yes, the sect leader has arranged a bride for me. The ceremony is to be held the day after tomorrow. Quickly hurry. By the way, everyone from Xiaoyan Peak has left. If you wish to visit another peak, it can wait until you finish setting things up for me. After Lin Bufan spoke, he recalled the attitudes of the elders earlier and added, "The sect leader arranged it?" Tears instantly filled Xiao Ruer's eyes. "Master, if you marry, will you no longer need me?" Her previously sparkling eyes were now brimming with tears. "Oh dear, why are you crying? When have I ever said I'd abandon you?" Lin Bufan, seeing her tearful expression, approached and playfully pinched her nose. "All right, little crybaby, it's not that I wish to cast you aside, but rather that I cannot impart my cultivation methods to you. There were originally hundreds at Xiaoyun Peak, and now it feels desolate." Lin Bufan felt a twinge of sadness as he considered the emptiness of the peak. "No, I want to leave. Xiaoyun Peak is my home. I want to go anywhere. Once you are married and have children, I can help you look after them." Xiao Ruer wiped her tears and pouted defiantly. Chapter 4. A wedding without witnesses. Very well, do as you wish. After all, this is your master's first bride. Lin Bufan stroked his chin thoughtfully. Understood. Xiao Ruer was quite diligent. At the foot of the mountain lay the marketplace of Qingyun Sect, where one could procure nearly anything, and a round trip would not consume too much time. A day was ample for Xiao Ruer to prepare. She truly was quite industrious. Over the years, Xiao Ruer has regarded herself as Lin Bufan's maid, managing both trivial and significant matters on his behalf. Preparing wedding necessities is a straightforward task. It merely requires a bit of thought and additional effort. As the days passed, Xiaoyun Feng was adorned with vibrant decorations, red lanterns hanging everywhere. Luo Ping had specifically sought assistance for the arrangements. The once desolate Xiaoyun Mountain was suddenly bustling with hundreds of people, seemingly regaining its former liveliness. Moreover, the path leading to Xiaoyun Feng was patrolled by disciples of the Qingyun Sect. Several elders, closely associated with Lin Yuan, made their appearance. But they merely passed through, leaving the gifting duties to their disciples. Although Lu Chong, the sect leader, did not attend, Luo Ping's arrival with gifts and companions was commendable. Furthermore, the presence of the sect leader could instill a sense of restraint among the younger generation. After all, Lin Bufan's wedding was still that of a mortal, lacking the grandeur expected in the cultivation world, where strength and talent reign supreme. After expressing gratitude to the attendees, Lin Bufan understood that their presence was merely to fulfill a duty. Fortunately, they had been instructed beforehand to treat this occasion with respect, as the sect leader had decreed that any disturbances would result in immediate expulsion from the Qingyun Sect. The attitude towards Lin Bufan was rather indifferent, as if they were merely there to witness the festivities and enjoy a meal. Lin Bufan paid little heed to their demeanor. Once the tedious formalities were completed, the festivities continued until nightfall. Regardless of the circumstances, this day marked a celebration for Xiaoyun Feng. Those who enjoyed a lively atmosphere remained at the banquet until late into the night. Since Lin Yuan's demise, the disciples of Xiaoyun Feng had either left or fled, and it had been a long time since such vibrancy graced the mountain. The flickering flames beneath the red lanterns were indeed a rare sight. Under the tranquil night sky, Xiaoyun Feng was enveloped in silence, illuminated only by the soft moonlight and the gentle sounds of insects. Once the crowd dispersed, the red lanterns swayed in the evening breeze. Dozens of disciples were assigned to patrol the area, as Lin Yuan's only son was not to be taken lightly. No one wished for this joyous occasion to falter, making it prudent to maintain order. "Young master, please be careful." Xiao Ruer supported Lin Xiao as they made their way toward the residence. "There's no need for concern. I haven't had too much to drink. Go and rest. There are enough people at Xiaoyun Feng tonight to ensure no trouble arises. I will be fine." Lin Bufan waved his hand reassuringly at Xiao Ruer. "All right. Be cautious then." Xiao Ruer knew better than to counter Lin Bufan's decisions, so she could only watch as he staggered away. It was only when he was out of sight that she departed. However, Lin Bufan did not return to the new house. Instead, he made his way to a waterfall at the mountain's peak and paused there. "Father, today is a day of great joy for me. Here is the wine I have brought for you. If you are watching over me from the heavens, may you bless your son with a bountiful lineage." After sitting for a while, allowing the effects of the alcohol to dissipate, he unsteadily returned to the new house. At this moment, Su Yishui awaited him with anticipation. She discerned that the outside had long since fallen silent. Ordinarily, after bidding farewell to the guests, Lin Bufan should have arrived at the new abode to unveil her veil. Yet, despite her anxious waiting, he remained absent. Could it be that Lin Bufan, aware of his inability to cultivate, had feigned consent to this marriage only to have second thoughts? Young girls are often prone to sentimentality and overthinking. However, today, she must marry Lin Bufan, otherwise, the Su family in Qingkong City would be left vulnerable. Just as she began to believe Lin Bufan might flee from the wedding, the door creaked open. She beheld the meticulously arranged bridal chamber, with crimson candles illuminating the space, her gaze ultimately settling upon Su Yishui, adorned in her red bridal attire. Even Lin Bufan, having lived two lives, felt an air of unreality envelop him. He never anticipated that he would marry at such a tender age in his second life. And to a beautiful maiden at that. A smile graced Lin Bufan's lips as he picked up the jade rui beside him and approached Sui Xiao. In ancient customs, lifting the veil was a necessity, typically performed with a jade rui and a balance beam, both symbolizing satisfaction and harmony. At that moment, Sui Xiao appeared even more anxious than Lin Bufan. Only when the veil was lifted would their ceremony be deemed complete. Suddenly, a notification reverberated. Ding. The host has triggered system conditions. Would you like to leave an heir? Is fusion of treasures required to define the offspring's potential? Fusion of treasures? Define potential? What could this possibly mean? Lin Bufan recalled that he had not encountered such an introduction in the system before. Ding. Responding to the host. This system allows for the decision to leave an heir based on the host's wishes. Furthermore, it can randomly endow the heir with talents through the fusion of various heavenly materials and earthly treasures. Should you choose not to fuse, the offspring will still possess random talents, broadly aligned with those of the parents. Controllable and reliant on the attributes of heavenly materials and earthly treasures. Lin Bufan's eyes sparkled with realization. Thus, he could ensure his descendant strength simply by possessing treasures. Would herbs, elixirs, or ancient scriptures suffice? Ding. Naturally, the system, named My Son Dictates Eternity, possesses this capability. Any powerful attribute-bearing heavenly materials or ancient scriptures are applicable. Even Lin Bufan, who had perused countless system narratives, found himself astonished by the system's prowess. The rather ostentatious name was somewhat off-putting. He was but a mortal, yet once his first child was born, showcasing formidable talents. He could safeguard this small Yunfeng and protect himself from being bullied. Lin Bufan's heart raced at this prospect. Was this not a classic case of the son elevating the father? However, Lin Bufan truly lacked any treasures at present. As an ordinary man, although his father was an infant soul, he had long since perished, leaving no treasures behind. Surely, he could not ask the sect leader for assistance. It was unlikely that the leader would oblige. This wedding had not even seen Lu Chang's attendance. His father possessed a commendable sword, yet it was merely a mundane item, beneath his consideration. Can the system truly fuse ancient scriptures? Lin Bufan suddenly inquired, his curiosity piqued. Ding. Indeed it can. That is well and good. Allow me to recite a passage. The way that can be spoken of is not the eternal way. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. Chapter 5. The value of reading in his previous life. Lin Bufan had a profound passion for various literary works. He found great delight in the enigmatic prose of the Tao Te Ching. During his school years, he was particularly drawn to the study of metaphysical concepts. Laozi's Tao Te Ching is regarded as an unparalleled masterpiece. Although the text is succinct, its impact is profound. On the following day, Lin Bufan and Sui Xiao felt a sense of familiarity that had grown since their wedding day. After all, they were at Little Yun Peak, and it was their first day of marriage, a day unsuitable for lingering in bed. Lin Bufan, now the lord of Little Yun Peak, and Sui Xiao, the esteemed young lady from the Su family of Qingyun City, both held distinguished statuses. They rose early to pay their respects to Lu Chong at the main peak. Traditionally, on the second day of marriage, one should honor their elders with tea and greetings. After Lu Chong bestowed his blessings upon them, the couple returned together to Little Yun Peak. Upon their arrival, they found the dining room already set with food. Xiao Rower, with a beaming smile, flitted between Lin Bufan and Sui Xiao, as if to assess how her young master had changed since becoming a groom. Her gaze often wandered to Sui Xiao's face. Greetings, young master and young mistress. Upon catching Lin Bufan's stern glance, Xiao Rower promptly offered her respects, positioning herself as a humble maid. Little crybaby, stop staring. After running around this morning, I am famished. Serve the meal. Lin Bufan, noticing Sui Xiao's growing embarrassment under Xiao Rower's scrutiny, playfully flicked her forehead. Xiao Rower winced, her hands pressing against her forehead, tears brimming in her eyes. Young master, I spoke no ill words, yet you strike me. Xiao Rower protested, feeling wronged. Just serve the food. Enough with the glances. Lin Bufan shot her a disapproving look. Xiao Rower, unable to contend with Lin Bufan's demeanor, resigned herself to her duties. Oh, I have yet to introduce you. This is Rower, an orphan whom my father rescued, raised alongside me. I have always considered her a sister. Sui Xiao, my beloved wife. Lin Bufan made the introductions. Having been brought directly to the room upon her arrival the previous day, Sui Xiao had not yet met Xiao Rower. This marked their official introduction. Upon hearing Lin Bufan's brief recounting of Xiao Rower's background, Sui Xiao felt a surge of empathy. The bond between girls often fosters a deep sense of compassion. With one family suffering persecution and another devoid of kin, Sui Xiao felt a profound sympathy for her younger sister. Young mistress, you may simply call me Xiao Rower from now on. In return, You may call me sister. Do not refer to me as young mistress. You two have endured hardships. Su Ishua gently grasped Xiao Rower's hand. That is not permissible. The young master remains the young master. My status is humble, and both the master and young master are my saviors. This custom cannot be disregarded. Xiao Rower firmly declined. She was acutely aware of the plight of a little girl, particularly after the fall of Lin Yuan, which rendered Xiaoyun Peak cold and indifferent. This deepened her gratitude towards Lin Yuan and Lin Bufan, who truly regarded her as family, regardless of the state of Xiaoyun Peak or the opinions of others. She would forever consider Lin Bufan as her kin. Do not worry about me. Rower has also grown up on Xiaoyun Peak, and from now on, we shall all be one family. Lin Bufan felt a swell of joy at the presence of another person by his side. Well, seeing Xiao's determination, Lin Bufan remained unperturbed, while Su Ishua believed that changes could be gradual. Speaking of which, it was her first visit to Xiaoyun Peak. She had been carried here the day prior, and now, as she dined and gazed upon the scenery of Xiaoyun Peak, her spirits lifted considerably. The Qingyun Sect, after all, could be regarded as a significant sect within hundreds of thousands of miles, blessed with rich spiritual energy and lush vegetation, occasionally interrupted by the calls of birds and beasts. Even while residing in this small peak, she could feel the true qi within her circulating. This was indeed quite splendid. However, she was vaguely aware of the changes that had beset Xiaoyun Peak. After Lin Yuan's demise, it had become nearly deserted, with most having fled. 3 individuals inhabiting a single peak offered a sense of spaciousness. As one of the 5 peaks of Qingyun Sect, it boasted rich spiritual energy. Lin Bufan understood that, relying on his identity, his safety was merely temporary. Without his father's presence to hold the fort, Xiaoyun Peak could not withstand the challenges. The only hope lay in nurturing a formidable child to attract the Qingyun Sect's attention for careful cultivation, or having a Yuaniing expert stationed there. Though Lin Bufan was not the peak master, he possessed some understanding of Xiaoyun Peak's significance. After a hearty meal, Su Ishua engaged in whispered conversations with Xiao in the pavilion, while Lin Bufan assessed his physical condition. The system-provided Innate Dao scripture seemed to have enhanced his physical strength significantly, and his vitality had also improved considerably. However, he still found himself unable to cultivate. Nonetheless, he noticed a marked increase in his strength and an uplifted spirit, which could be seen as a positive aspect. Lin Bufan sat cross-legged, attempting to practice his techniques, but yielded no response. Xiaoyun Peak was adorned with numerous formations, among which was the spirit-gathering array. The spiritual energy atop the 5 peaks was among the most concentrated within the Qingyun Sect. If he could not sense it here, then the prospect of sensing it elsewhere was bleak indeed. As for his mortal body, it seemed rather inadequate. After attempting several times and ultimately failing, he decided to abandon the effort. He found a nearby stone, stroked his chin thoughtfully, and pondered deeply. Although he was unable to cultivate, his physical constitution was commendable. These various stones, polished by Lin Yuan, were intended to enhance Lin Bufan's physique and break his limitations. Legends spoke of 2 paths to immortality, one through comprehending the natural heavenly way, and the other by transcending the limits of the human body. These stones served as Lin Bufan's exercise equipment. Not to mention Lin Yuan, even Lin Bufan often practiced here. Over the years, he had not been entirely ineffectual. At the very least, he had indeed grown considerably stronger than the average person. He gazed upon a colossal stone weighing 500 pounds, and after a moment of contemplation, he grasped it with both hands. Rise! With Lin Bufan's furious shout, the immovable boulder was astonishingly lifted into the air. Young master, Bufan. The commotion immediately caught the attention of Su Ishua and Xiao Ruer. Boom! The stone crashed down, and Lin Bufan's eyes sparkled with brilliance. System. Is it truly possible for the Yin-Yang Dao Sutra to achieve such feats? Ding. Replying to the host, the Tai Chi gives birth to the 2 instruments. The 2 instruments give birth to the 4 symbols. The 4 symbols give birth to the 8 trigrams, and the 8 trigrams give birth to all things. This world is divided into the 5 elements, day and night, yin and yang. The purpose of the Dao Sutra extends beyond this. Though he did not fully comprehend, the augmentation of his strength was undeniably promising. Lin Bufan examined his hands, feeling as though he had discovered his path. With diligent practice, could he not also ascend to immortality through the power of his physique? His eyes gleamed with excitement. Chapter 6. The Heaven-Breaking Spear Technique. Mortal Strength Surpassing Cultivator's Young Master. Can you cultivate now? Xiao Ruer inquired, her face alight with enthusiasm. She longed for her master to embark on the path of cultivation, hoping it would improve her own circumstances. Previously, on Xiaoyun Peak, she had heard countless disparaging remarks about Lin Bufan, often lamenting that as a mortal, he posed no hope for their peak unless a new leader emerged. Su Yixue also expressed her confusion. It is rumored that Lin Bufan cannot cultivate at all. In the face of their inquisitive gazes, Lin Bufan shook his head, clarifying that he was not yet capable of cultivation. However, with a Dao partner now by his side, it was only natural for him to strive for self-improvement. Perhaps if ascension was unattainable, he could still endeavor to achieve greatness through sheer force. To prove the Dao through strength? Su Yixue pondered. Yet, that path may be fraught with hardship. For the sake of my beloved, enduring some trials is not a burden. Lin Bufan replied, a smile gracing his face as he flexed his arm to demonstrate his newfound strength. The stones surrounding him stood as testament to this power. Seeing Lin Bufan's confidence, Su Yixue couldn't help but smile in return. Very well, I support you. Perhaps one day, you may indeed cultivate. It is not entirely impossible. There was once an elder with the surname Chun who attained enlightenment at the age of 80, she remarked with a smile. Chun Changsheng? Lin Bufan was taken aback. No way. I've heard tales of someone who, despite nearing the end of their life at 80, finally embarked on the path of immortality. Su Yixue reflected thoughtfully. Goodness. Could this be a coincidence? Is there truly a Chun Changsheng in this world? Well, I shall take a stroll around Xiao Peak and have a word with my father. Lin Bufan felt his strength had multiplied at least fivefold and was eager to explore the changes in his body, though he preferred to do so away from the two women. Very well, go ahead. It's also time to pay respects to your father-in-law, Su Yixue said, understanding and supportive. Indeed, marriage is indeed a commendable choice, primarily for the companionship it offers. However, it is regretful that one cannot cultivate. Reflecting on Lin Bufan's earlier excitement, Su Yixue shook her head, a trace of sorrow gracing her features. Nevertheless, it matters not. As long as I am here, I shall protect you steadfastly in this lifetime. The distinction between cultivators and mortals is undeniable, for the issue of mortality's fleeting nature looms large. The departing Lin Bufan did not linger, promptly making his way to the storeroom of Xiao Peak. Though referred to as the storeroom of Xiao Peak, it is merely a repository for the supplies of this sect. Despite Lin Yuan's demise, the storeroom still housed a considerable amount of items. Additionally, the gifts presented by various elders during Lin Bufan's wedding were also treasures, all of which had been stored within. These encompassed a myriad of resources, cultivation techniques, secret arts, elixirs, and spiritual energy, among others. As the sole heir of Lin Yuan, Lin Bufan naturally possessed the authority to access this storeroom. While some of the more exceptional items had been sent to the main peak, there remained sufficient provisions for Xiao Peak's development within the storeroom. Observing the neatly arranged items inside, Lin Bufan began his search. Soon, he discovered a spear. This spear was a first-grade spiritual weapon, ranking among the highest in this place. Standing at 2 meters tall, it suited Lin Bufan's height of 1 meter 80 perfectly. The entire spear exhibited a silvery hue, adorned with intricate dragon carvings, and its tip extended 30 centimeters, gleaming ominously. In the hierarchy of weapons within the cultivation realm, they are categorized into magical tools, spiritual weapons, and immortal artifacts. Each category comprises 10 distinct levels. For instance, first-grade spiritual weapons, second-grade spiritual weapons, and so forth. The differentiation lies in their spiritual essence. Magical tools possess a lower grade, while spiritual weapons exhibit a degree of spirituality. Higher-tier spiritual weapons can even develop rudimentary consciousness. As for immortal artifacts, they belong to celestial beings, harboring potent celestial spirits capable of selecting their masters. From his upbringing under Lin Yuan, Lin Bufan was well acquainted with various aspects of cultivation. Magical tools and spiritual weapons were relatively commonplace, whereas immortal artifacts were said to reside within the most prestigious sects, serving as their treasures. The utilization of an immortal artifact typically coincides with significant upheavals within the sect. This first-grade spiritual weapon, known as the Dragon's Whisper Spear, emits a faint dragon's roar upon use, making it highly coveted even by core formation cultivators. To enhance one's own strength, possessing a formidable weapon is indispensable. With the Tao Sutra at my disposal to bolster my physique, I may appear as a mere mortal, yet my strength has already surpassed that of low-tier Qi practitioners. Furthermore, with the Heavenly Break Spear technique at hand, I am capable of vanquishing foes. Who dares to claim that mortals are devoid of merit? I, a mortal, shall still prevail. With these thoughts in mind, Lin Bufan grasped the Dragon's Whisper Spear and prepared to depart. After taking a few steps, he paused once more. Regardless of the circumstances, Su Yixue is now my wife. While I cannot bestow upon her the techniques of Qingyun Sect, I can offer her other cultivation methods and elixirs. With this in mind, Lin Bufan retrieved a low-grade profound technique, a method classified under the 4 levels of heaven and earth, which represents a relatively advanced cultivation technique accessible to ordinary cultivators. As for the elixirs, they are designed to provide robust spiritual energy. Lin Bufan did not return to his abode. Instead, he made his way to the cliff on the eastern side of the Xiaoyan Peak Grand Hall, where a waterfall cascaded down for thousands of meters. As he gazed into the distance, he beheld the majority of Qingyun Peak enveloped in mist, along with several other distant mountain ranges. Sitting cross-legged, he positioned his spear horizontally before him and closed his eyes in deep concentration. The heaven-piercing spear technique consists of 9 forms. The name itself is grand, suggesting that, when perfected, one could pierce the heavens. Fortunately, these 9 forms were not overly difficult. After pondering for a brief period, Lin Bufan began to practice with the spear. Although he could not cultivate, his comprehension and learning abilities were remarkably high. Drawing upon the techniques stored in his mind, he executed the forms with considerable finesse. The saying that extensive reading leads to profound understanding aptly illustrates this principle. Meanwhile, within a courtyard on the Dian Peak, several individuals were congregated. "Hanggu, is what you said true?" inquired a man with narrow eyes, directing his gaze towards someone on his left. "Senior brother, Lu Hao has spoken accurately. Yesterday, I visited Xiaoyan Peak, and it was primarily disciples from other peaks present. Presently, only Lin Bufan and a maid named Roer remain." He paused before continuing. "As for Su Yixue, I have investigated her as well. She is the second daughter of the Su family in Qingyun City, 18 years old, at the 9th level of Qi refinement, but her aptitude is deemed inferior. It is estimated that she will require 3 to 5 years to break through to the foundation establishment stage." He pondered this for a moment before speaking again. I truly cannot comprehend why the sect master still retains Lin Bufan. The disciples on Xiaoyan Peak have been divided among the various peaks, leaving behind a mere mortal to guard 2 Qi refinement practitioners. Such a useless individual should be dispatched directly to Qingyun City to serve as a menial laborer. The senior brother let out a cold snort, his eyes glinting with a hint of malice. He was Lu Zongming, a prominent young disciple of the Dian Peak. Having reached the 7th tier of foundation establishment and on the verge of breaking through to the 8th tier. "Senior brother, with no one left on Xiaoyan Peak and you having reached the 7th tier of foundation establishment, the secret realm of the sect will soon be opened. I have heard that the treasures within Xiaoyan Peak's treasury have not yet been claimed. Perhaps we should." The man did not finish his thought, yet the implication was clear. An unguarded treasury would surely contain abundant resources, which may not hold much value for those at the nascent soul and core formation stages, but would be of great significance for those at the Qi refinement and foundation establishment stages. Lu Zongming turned to scrutinize the speaker. "Lu Hao, do you realize what you are suggesting? To pilfer resources from another peak? If the peak master or the elders were to discover this, would you bear the responsibility?" The authority of the senior brother erupted, causing cold sweat to bead on the foreheads of those present. They were merely Qi refinement and foundation establishment practitioners, who typically looked to Lu Zongming for guidance. Lu Hao's forehead quickly glistened with perspiration. Senior brother, Xiaoyan Peak and Dian Peak are adjacent, and their names reflect this connection. Following the last incident where Peak Master Lin Yuan led a group into the secret realm and suffered heavy casualties, only a handful of core formation practitioners remained. Most of the disciples from Xiaoyan Peak have now sought refuge in Dian Peak. One could even say that Dian Peak has effectively absorbed Xiaoyan Peak. Moreover, among these elders, only Elder Yang Sheng ranks within the top 3 beneath the sect master, with Dian Peak already at full capacity. It is only natural for newcomers to take residence at Xiaoyan Peak. We are merely utilizing some resources from Xiaoyan Peak in advance, and there is nothing unreasonable about that. Furthermore, if the senior brother can reach the 9th level of foundation establishment within a few years and secure a grand prize during the trials, it would undoubtedly benefit Dian Peak. The title of first in the trials could significantly enhance the cultivation resources available to Dian Peak. Lu Hao quickly asserted. Upon hearing this, Lu Zongming's expression softened, and others began to voice their support. "Junior brother Lu is correct, senior brother Lu. The higher your cultivation, the greater the benefits Dian Peak will reap in the future. That mortal guarding those resources is of no use. It is better to put them to good use. Yes, with no one at Xiaoyan Peak, those resources should be allocated to those who can actually utilize them. Otherwise, they are merely lifeless objects." Indeed, that is the reasoning. As Lu Zongming listened to the surrounding voices, a faint smile crept upon his lips. It seems that all the junior brothers share this sentiment, motivated by their concern for Dian Peak. Therefore, it would be inappropriate for Lu to voice any objections. However, if the elders were to discover this act of pilfering resources from other peaks, it would carry significant repercussions. Lu Zongming raised his hand to silence their chatter and added, "This can be easily arranged. Junior brother Lu is from Xiaoyan Peak. Let him take a few individuals back. As disciples of Xiaoyan Peak, it is only justifiable for them to retrieve some resources for cultivation. Wouldn't you agree?" Suddenly, Han Guo's eyes lit up as he spoke. Lu Hao looked at Han Gu in astonishment, lowering his gaze. He had thought he had secured a position at Qingyun Peak, especially upon meeting Lu Zoming. Yet now he was being asked to return and steal resources? What's wrong? Do you have a problem, junior brother Lu? Han Gu inquired, turning his attention to Lu Hao. No. It's not that, senior brother Han. It's just that the key to the storage formation at Xiaoyun Peak is with Lin Bufan, which complicates matters. Lu Hao admitted, feeling troubled. Humph. He is merely a mortal. Junior brother Lu, you must consider this carefully. These resources are not only for the senior brother but also for Qingyun Peak, and, more importantly, for yourself. If I am not mistaken, Haven TU also reached the 9th stage of Qi refinement? With the senior brother around. Acquiring a foundation establishment pill in the future will be effortless. Han Gu pressed on, casting a glance at Lu Zoming. Alright, I will give it a try. But I hope my senior brothers will lend me a hand when I need it. Lu Hao lifted his head to meet their gazes, stealing his resolve. Of course. But remember, next month, the senior brother will be entering seclusion to break through to the 8th level of foundation establishment. I hope you can act swiftly so that you may reach foundation establishment as well. Han Gu replied with a smile. Understood. Lu Hao had no choice but to comply. Once everyone departed, only Lu Zoming and Han Gu remained in the room. Senior brother Lu, can we truly rely on Lu Hao? Han Gu inquired. Humph. The resources allocated by the sect to each peak are fixed. Since Qingyun Peak has absorbed so many individuals, it is only natural that they would possess a greater share of resources. I suspect that Xiaoyun Peak has already exhausted its provisions for the coming month, leaving only a few remnants. If this Lu Hao proves unreliable, we could certainly stir up some public sentiment to drive the people of Xiaoyun Peak away. Lu Zoming no longer concealed his thoughts and expressed his mind openly. Ah, my esteemed senior brother, with hundreds of new arrivals. The disciples of Qingyun Peak have long harbored grievances. Those resources should not be squandered on others. In the realm of cultivation, resources are of paramount importance. Most conflicts arise from resource disputes. Should our actions be discovered, what does the conduct of the Xiaoyun Peak disciples have to do with us at Qingyun Peak? Upon finishing his statement, Han Ji's eyes brightened. The silver serpent moves, the venomous dragon burrows, the water is severed. On the cliff, Lin Bufan wielded his spear, each strike emanating formidable power, yet regrettably, despite their flamboyance, the techniques lacked true potency. Su Yixue, seated in a nearby pavilion, found herself lost in thought while observing Lin Bufan's silhouette. Indeed, the sight of him practicing with his spear in the nude was quite pleasing to the eye. Regardless, she could not help but gaze, reveling in the view. My dear husband, you have been practicing for an hour. Do drink some water. Xiao Ruru brought over a pot of water and placed it on the pavilion table, prompting Su Yixue to call out. Alright, I'm coming. Lin Bufan replied as he approached the pavilion, spear in hand. The tea on Xiaoyun Peak is imbued with spiritual energy. Drinking it invigorates the mind and alleviates fatigue. Though Lin Bufan could not cultivate, his prolonged stay in a spiritually rich environment had naturally enhanced his physical constitution. My husband, your spear technique is quite impressive. Where did you learn it? Su Yixue inquired with curiosity. Haha, I derived it myself. It's merely a means to strengthen the body. Lin Bufan fabricated a tale, omitting the origins of the technique. You derived it yourself? Su Yixue assumed it was a powerful technique from Xiaoyun Peak, and for a moment, she felt a twinge of disappointment. What is it? Lin Bufan perceptively detected the change in Su Yixue's mood. Nothing. Su Yixue turned away, gazing toward the distant mountains. I merely miss my mother. I wonder how the Su family is faring now. She sighed softly. You mentioned earlier that the Su family was in trouble. Might you share what has transpired? Lin Bufan's curiosity was piqued. Chapter 8. My husband, thank you well. Very well. Regardless, Lin Bufan is her husband. And Su Yixue resolved to confide in him. My dear husband, you are aware that within a radius of 10,000 miles, apart from a few major sects, there are quite a number of cultivation families. They control certain cities in the secular world, engaging in business with both cultivators and mortals. Beneath the Qingyun Sect, there lies a city known as Qingyun City. This city was established with the support of the Qingyun Sect and is considered the largest city within a 1,000-mile radius. Within the Azure Sky City, two prominent families, the Su and the Hu, engaged in the pursuit of their respective commercial endeavors. Historically, the Qingyun Sect has solely been responsible for safeguarding the security within its jurisdiction, refraining from intervening in the disputes of the cultivation families under its influence, which is, in a sense, equitable. However, not long ago, the Hu family inexplicably summoned a formidable group of cultivators, cornering the Su family and resulting in the demise of several of our protectors. Given the proximity of the Hu and Su families to the Qingyun Sect, there exists a tenuous connection. My grandfather once shared a rapport with your esteemed family. Thus, in a bid to preserve the Su family, I approached the Qingyun Sect, seeking protection through the bond of marriage. Su Yixue swiftly recounted the entire sequence of events. Her intention was to barter her own sacrifice for the survival of the Su family. Only through this marriage could she attain her desires. So our engagement is merely a transaction? Lin Bufan inquired, gazing at Su Yixue. Initially, I perceived it in such a manner, yet after marrying you, I realized that my decision was indeed fortuitous. These past few days atop Xiaoyan Peak have been the most tranquil of my years. My husband, even if you cannot cultivate, it matters not. I am willing to accompany you until the end of our days. Su Yixue exclaimed, rushing forward to embrace Lin Bufan, resting her cheek against his chest. As Lin Bufan caressed Su Yixue's flowing hair, he could acutely sense her anxiousness. Meeting you has been my fortune. It is only natural to miss your family. I can only surmise that those esteemed uncles and aunts will not remain indifferent to your plight. He gently released Su Yixue, placing his hands on her shoulders, a smile gracing his lips. Who could have anticipated that a female cultivator like Su Yixue would find herself in tears, seeking solace from a mere mortal? Turning, Lin Bufan retrieved his garments, from which he extracted a tome of cultivation techniques and 3 bottles of elixirs. This is a lower-grade mystic cultivation technique, along with 3 bottles of spirit-soothing pills. Regardless of your family's standing, without absolute strength, you cannot be of assistance. Xiaoyan Peak is quite serene. You may cultivate diligently and strive to ascend to a higher level. The world of cultivation is inherently one of the survival of the fittest. You should comprehend that relying on others pales in comparison to self-reliance. Upon seeing the items Lin Bufan had laid out on the table, Su Yixue was taken aback. Her family could only manage cultivation techniques of the yellow grade, and elixirs were seldom available, typically reserved for breakthroughs or perilous situations. Yet here was Lin Bufan presenting these treasures before her. My husband, thank you. Su Yixue's tears flowed uncontrollably once more as she clung to him, unwilling to let go. Enough now. Are you not tasked with protecting me? As a mortal, I will surely require your support in the future. However, you must remember to remain discreet. Do not easily reveal your cultivation level, and always keep a contingency plan. Yes, yes. Su Yixue nodded obediently. She had never imagined that her mortal husband could one day become her pillar of support. Additionally, you do not merely stand by with glistening eyes. You too must diligently cultivate your skills. The Xiaoyan Peak rightfully belongs to my father, and I am uncertain how many individuals harbor intentions to exploit this place. It is entirely possible that someone may come to harm me, Lin Bufan remarked, casting a glance at the petite Xiao beside him. Suddenly singled out Xiao, who had been profoundly moved by the affectionate exchange between Lin Bufan and Su Yixue, instinctively shrank her neck. Oh, I understand, young master, but it seems I lack the ability to fight. Would you be willing to teach me that impressive technique of yours, the breaking sky spear? It appears quite formidable, Xiao pondered, placing her index finger at the corner of her mouth, tilting her head in contemplation before exclaiming, Lin Bufan turned his gaze towards Xiao. Here was a little girl clad in a vibrant red ancient dress, aspiring to wield a spear that towered over her by 2 heads. Considering the intricacies of his breaking sky spear technique, he mused, what a fantastical pairing this is. Please, young master. Noticing Lin Bufan's momentary surprise, Xiao assumed he was reluctant. She promptly advanced, grasping his wrist and shaking it playfully. This was the little girl's unique skill, her adorable charm. With this ability, Xiao had always managed to procure what she desired from Lin Bufan, and she was confident that her extraordinary young master would acquiesce. Nearby, Su Yixue couldn't help but stifle a chuckle at the scene. Her younger sister was exceedingly clingy. Very well, it is not out of the question. I could use a sparring partner. Lin Bufan, contemplating some peculiar thoughts while sizing up Xiao, ultimately decided to agree. After all, it was merely a set of spear techniques. Quite simple indeed. Excellent. How wonderful. With both Su Yixue and Xiao joining in his training, Lin Bufan felt invigorated. The following days unfolded pleasantly, with him practicing spear techniques by day and engaging in heartfelt conversations with Su Yixue by night, thereby deepening their bond. Yet, this left Xiao somewhat forlorn. In the entire Xiaoyan Peak, only the 3 of them remained. Due to her lifelong dependence, Xiao had resided next to Lin Bufan, but now that he had a partner, she moved to a slightly more distant location. Time swiftly passed, and in the blink of an eye, half a month had elapsed. Lin Bufan's physical prowess had significantly increased, his vitality surging as if his blood were boiling. He discovered that his fists were as formidable as cold iron, with astounding strength. Should he encounter a Qi refinement practitioner, the outcome of the confrontation remained uncertain. This was largely attributed to his unwavering commitment to daily training. One fateful night, with but a single flicker of light illuminating Xiaoyan Peak, Lin Bufan continued to hone his breaking sky spear technique, creating a tumultuous atmosphere. At that moment, halfway up Xiaoyan Peak, 3 shadowy figures stealthily approached. Brother Lu, we are nearing the core area of Xiaoyan Peak. Indeed. Put on your masks. Remember, there are 3 individuals above, one at the 9th level of Qi refinement and another at the 6th level. The key is in Lin Bufan's possession. Let us tread carefully to avoid alarming them. Understood, Brother Lu. The other 2 nodded in agreement. They picked up the white cloth, covering their mouths and noses, and checked their weapons before stealthily making their way to Lin Bufan's residence. Chapter 9. It has taken so long. Even the cattle could exhaust themselves. The 3 were well acquainted with the area. Although the mountaintop was replete with structures, they did not linger and proceeded directly to the core of Xiaoyan Peak, eventually locating Lin Bufan's chamber. At this hour, it was already midnight. Yet a faint glow emanated from Lin Bufan's room, accompanied by occasional sounds. Damn it, what is Lin Bufan up to? Still awake at this late hour? Humph. I have heard that Su Yixue is one of the 2 exceptional beauties of Qingyun City, possessing remarkable charm. And even some prominent cultivation families have sought to form alliances through marriage with her. I wonder what kind of luck this Lin Bufan has stumbled upon. Being the son of the Xiaoyan Peak master is one thing, but marrying such a wife is quite another. Brother Lu, what should we do? The 2 inquired of Lu Hao. What can we do? Lu Hao replied with a hint of frustration, as if a fly were stuck in his throat. They had toiled outside while he was indulging in a dreamlike springtime. Who could endure such a stark contrast? If it were not for the desire to avoid bloodshed and ensure their safe retreat, they might have already barged in on Lin Bufan. Remember, if we are discovered, I will hold Su Yixue back while you search for the key. If Lin Bufan refuses to comply, Lu Hao made a slicing motion with his hand, indicating a grim fate. Understood. The 2 recognized the gravity of the situation. If they were exposed, it would indeed be detrimental, and silence would be preferable to the alternative. Among the 3, Lu Hao was at the 9th level of Qi refinement, while one was at the 7th and the other at the 8th. Dealing with a 6th level Qi cultivator and a mere mortal would be child's play. They waited for an hour. Naturally, by the time their legs were numb from squatting, the light in the room finally extinguished. The 3 exchanged glances, envy flickering in their eyes. How formidable. If Lin Bufan were not a mere mortal, he would be a paragon for our kind. After another hour of waiting, satisfied that there was no movement from within, Lu Hao signaled. The 3 sprang into action, gliding into the courtyard, and in a few flashes, they arrived outside Lin Bufan's window. Lu Hao signaled to one person to keep watch outside while he and another slipped into Lin Bufan's room. Upon landing, a shimmer enveloped their feet, making no sound whatsoever. Lu Hao surveyed the room's layout and glanced at the 2 figures on the bed, before ultimately focusing on Lin Bufan. Under the moonlight, the shadows approached, and the slumbering Lin Bufan furrowed his brow, suddenly awakening with wide eyes. The Innate Dao scripture had enhanced his physical prowess, sharpening his senses. At that moment, he had just concluded his cultivation session, and his vitality surged, rendering him at his peak state. His right hand instinctively grasped the dagger beside his pillow. Though he could not cultivate, it did not mean he would allow himself to be easily bullied. As the hands of the adversary grazed him, Lin Bufan had already prepared for a counterattack. However, he soon realized that those hands had seized his clothing, and under the moonlight, he discerned that the intruder was rummaging through his belongings. Gradually, the figure retreated. The key to the storeroom array? It was the only item he carried on his person. The individual, displaying a modicum of politeness, took the object and returned his attire before retreating and leaping from the window. 30 seconds later, Lin Bufan abruptly sat up, gazing at the open window, a glimmer of murderous intent flashing in his eyes. Husband, be good, sleep well, I shall step out for a moment. Su Yixue, already weary, received a gentle kiss on her forehead from Lin Bufan before drifting back into a deep slumber. He donned his clothing, casually seized the longing spear, and peered through the crack of the door, confirming the absence of any presence before swiftly exiting. As he felt the pockets of his garments, he confirmed that the key to the storeroom was indeed missing. With a glance towards a distant direction, he propelled himself over the wall. Lin Bufan sleeps like a pig. He must be exhausted. Brother Lu is quite astute, remarked one individual on a narrow mountain path, flattering another. I've always found Lin Bufan to be distasteful. He is merely a mortal, enjoying a good status. Indeed, eliminating him would require but a mere finger. The 3 conversed merrily, their spirits soaring. Unbeknownst to them, on a rooftop ahead, a figure stood silently, observing their approach. This must be the storeroom. I remember transporting goods inside, Lu Hao remarked, glancing at the crescent-shaped key in his hand. This array key is specifically designed to breach the storeroom's defensive array. Forcing it open will trigger a resonance with the Xiao Yunfeng's array. Brother Lu, please open the door. The three of us should be able to carry back a considerable amount for the elder brother. This way, we will have backing at Danfeng. The trio felt a surge of excitement at the prospect of the storeroom. Ah, so you have gone to great lengths to orchestrate this scheme. Even resorting to thievery from Xiao Yunfeng, all to seek support at Danfeng. Just then, a figure emerged from the side. Who goes there? The three exclaimed in surprise, turning sharply. On the left rooftop, Lin Bufan sat, a hint of disdain curling his lips. Lin Bufan. The trio gasped in shock. No. You're not supposed to be able to cultivate. Aren't you a waste of a mortal? Lu Hao felt a chill run down his spine. Despite the distance from Lin Bufan's residence to this location, he had distinctly seen Lin Bufan lying in bed moments ago. How could he have suddenly appeared here? Panic-stricken, he scanned the surroundings, finding no other figures. What of a mortal? I reside here at Xiao Yunfeng, yet you three traitors have overstepped your bounds. Trespassing into Xiao Yunfeng's storeroom is tantamount to bullying the unprotected. Imagine the consequences if the sect leader and elders were to discover this. As Lin Bufan spoke, he leapt down from the rooftop, his spear swirling in his grasp, poised menacingly. The three individuals, realizing the situation, exchanged cold smirks. With Lu Hao shaking his head, Lin Bufan, you truly are not the sharpest tool in the shed. Do you think wielding a firearm grants you the power to oppose us? Li Shidi, eliminate him. I shall head to the storeroom first. It has long been rumored that Master Lin Yuanfeng administered numerous potions to Lin Bufan, urging him to cultivate the arts of the mundane world. Come, let me witness your prowess. Li Shidi chuckled, deeming it a trivial task to deal with a mere mortal, akin to jesting with a monkey. The duo turned their backs to Lin Bufan, proceeding towards the storeroom without so much as a glance. This indifference elicited a faint, cold smile from Lin Bufan. Aside from sparring with Xiao Rower, he had yet to engage anyone in combat. However, Xiao Rower had informed him that his current strength surpassed that of a 6th-level Qi practitioner. With this thought, Lin Bufan stepped forward, determined to ensure a single, decisive strike. Chapter 10. Has my child, yet unborn, already attracted formidable foes? As Lin Bufan approached, Li Shidi laughed. Come, allow me to enlighten you on the distinction between mortals and cultivators. Do you truly believe? Just as Lin Bufan closed the distance to 3 meters, Li Shidi's mocking words were cut short by the piercing of his heart by a long spear. The first form of the breaking heaven spear technique, the silver serpent strikes. Channeling all his strength, Lin Bufan thrust the spear swiftly, targeting vital points. He had leaped from the roof, gathering energy, and the moment he unleashed his power, it was instantaneous. He afforded his opponent no opportunity for a counterattack. Why you? Li Shidi gazed down at his bloodstained chest, terror flooding his eyes as he looked up at Lin Bufan. The practice of Qi merely allowed one to perceive spiritual energy and utilize it defensively. In contrast, one's physical form remained somewhat frail, especially in the absence of true Qi to shield the body. Lin Bufan's strike bore the weight of 1,000 pounds, swift as lightning. Compounded by the disdain Li Shidi held for him, there was no time for regret. Thud! Hearing a noise behind him, Lu Hao and his companion furrowed their brows and turned. They beheld Lin Bufan withdrawing his spear, blood dripping from its tip, while Li Shidi's lifeless body lay on the ground, still twitching. Li Shidi? Impossible! The two exclaimed in shock. They had felt no surge of spiritual energy. So how could Lin Bufan have slain a 7th-level Qi practitioner? You seek death. You have concealed your true strength. The only explanation left was that Lin Bufan had hidden his capabilities. To hell with your assumptions. Lin Bufan understood that fleeing at this moment was not an option. As a mortal, he had tapped into the path of strength, yet if he ran, the retaliatory attacks would come swiftly, and he had no means to evade them. Upon regaining their senses, Lu Hao and his companion moved with equal swiftness, drawing their long swords. As Lu Hao chanted incantations, ripples began to form along the blades. Before Lin Bufan could react, the two swords descended upon him with lethal intent. Clang! The blade struck against the longing spear, the immense force reverberating through their hands, causing them to stagger back 3 or 4 steps, astonishment etched upon their faces. Impossible! Without a fluctuation of true Qi, how could you withstand our assault? There is nothing impossible. Lin Bufan also retreated several steps, refusing to grant his opponents a moment's respite. Should they attempt to flee, he knew he would be powerless to stop them. The most prudent course of action was to eliminate them before they could react. With his spear in hand, he unleashed the formidable techniques of the breaking sky spear art. Although the two adversaries possessed formidable cultivation, their attacks were effortlessly thwarted by his spear techniques. After more than a dozen exchanges, they had yet to gain the upper hand against Lin Bufan. Damn it, hold him back. Lu Hao, unable to contain his frustration, urged his companion to advance while he produced a talisman. As Lu Hao recited incantations, the runes on the talisman began to shimmer. and a fiery lion began to take shape in the void. A talisman? Lin Bufan was taken aback upon seeing the talisman. Such talismans could only be inscribed by those who had reached the foundation establishment stage, capable of sealing one's energy within the talisman. Once the incantation was invoked, the sealed power could be unleashed. In critical moments, such talismans could prove to be life-saving. With a roar, an ominous, beastly growl echoed as an immense fiery lion, 2 meters in size, manifested from boundless thunder and flames. Before Lin Bufan could react, it charged directly at him, its fiery maw seemingly intent on devouring everything and reducing it to ash. Brother Lu. The companions of Lu Hao were astonished. They were merely at the Qi refinement stage, unable to harness enough spiritual energy for such advanced techniques, which were exclusive to those at the foundation establishment stage, the true threshold of immortality cultivation. They were shocked not only by the appearance of the fiery lion, but also by Lu Hao's indiscriminate assault. Poison dragon drill. There was no escaping this. Lin Bufan took several steps back to create distance, channeling all his strength. He thrust the spear forward with great vigor. The spear spun violently in his grip, colliding directly with the fiery lion. Boom! In an instant, flames erupted, and dust swirled into the air. Lu Hao's companion spewed blood, hurtling backward before crashing heavily to the ground, his face pale as parchment. Curse it! You've wasted my talisman. How could one so formidable be at the Qi refinement stage? If he were to cultivate further, wouldn't he be invincible among his peers? Lu Hao's complexion turned ashen. The activation of the talisman had drained him of all his spiritual power. Thankfully, the talisman's power was immense. Even he, the caster, dared not withstand its force directly. Impressive, truly impressive. Suddenly, amidst the flames, a voice emerged, causing Lu Hao to pale in horror. At that moment, a bare-chested man emerged from the fire, wielding a spear. Fragments of his clothing still smoldered as he advanced, sparks dancing in the wind. His bronzed muscles and elongated form, coupled with a grim expression, exuded an aura of lethal intent. How is it possible? Your physical strength is astonishingly formidable. No, that strike rivals that of a foundation establishment expert. Lu Hao instinctively took a step back. Lin Bufan raised his head, a smile gracing his lips. Moments ago, he too had believed he was doomed. However, the longing spear in his grasp was a spiritual weapon, channeling the last vestiges of his fervor. The spinning spear collided with the fiery lion, resulting in an explosion that enveloped him in flames. If one were at the Qi refining or foundation establishment stages, injuries would indeed occur. At a critical moment, the yin-yang Dao Jing within him surged, fortifying his flesh to withstand the flames. Nothing is impossible. Since you have come here, you must bear the consequences. Lin Bufan raised his left hand and flicked away a spark resting upon his chest. Panic flickered in Lu Hao's eyes. Before he could flee, Lin Bufan, like a gust of wind, was already upon him. A sudden flash of silver erupted as the pear blossom rain attack of the breaking heaven spear technique descended upon him. By the time Lin Bufan halted, Lu Hao's body was riddled with countless bloody holes, vitality swiftly draining away. Spare my life. The last remaining individual was utterly paralyzed by fear. They had been outmaneuvered by an ordinary person who turned their mundane tools against them. Upon meeting Lin Bufan's gaze, he instinctively recoiled, perceiving him as a demon king. Swoosh! The silver spear penetrated his shoulder, pinning him to the ground. I demand all the knowledge I seek. Lin Bufan proclaimed from his elevated position. I will speak. Bufan, junior brother. No, Bufan, senior brother. I am willing to divulge everything. I implore you. Spare me. I do not wish to die. This man was utterly terrified. After a brief half-hour, 3 flames blazed, reducing everything here to nothingness. The eldest senior brother of the foundation establishment at Great Cloud Peak? It is over. My child has yet to be born, and I have already attracted such a foe. No, I must hasten my cultivation. A sense of impending crisis erupted within Lin Bufan's heart. Lu Zongming will surely return, or send someone. Chapter 11. Seizing resources from Little Cloud Peak. Upon further reflection, Lin Bufan devised a plan. Little Cloud Peak belongs to Little Cloud Peak, not to his Great Cloud Peak. Besides enhancing his own strength, he would need some strategies as well. After all, Lin Bufan had lived 2 lives. As a senior brother of foundation establishment, he could not afford to make any reckless moves within the sect. Now, in addition to improving his own capabilities, he needed to bolster Xiao Ruer's strength. And Su Yixue as well. Su Yixue currently possessed the highest cultivation level. It would be splendid if she could break through to foundation establishment. At least then this trifling Qi refining would not dare to approach. After eliminating all traces, Lin Bufan took a refreshing bath beneath the waterfall before returning to his chamber. That night, he treated it as though nothing had transpired. For 3 consecutive days, Little Cloud Peak remained tranquil. Meanwhile, in a certain secluded estate of Great Cloud Peak, several individuals gathered once more. Eldest senior brother, Lu Hao indeed took 2 individuals to Little Cloud Peak, but there has been no news for 3 days. Han Ge reported to Lu Zongming after gathering information. Utterly useless. Lu Zongming frowned deeply. He had anticipated acquiring some resources over these days to expedite his cultivation, but alas, his hopes were dashed. Eldest senior brother, should we seek others? There are plenty of people at Little Cloud Peak. I have decided to retreat for a while. Upon my return, I shall seek out my master and inquire whether it is possible to unite with others to seize control of the Xiaoyan Peak. During this time, I urge you to establish connections with the disciples of Xiaoyan Peak, as they may prove invaluable upon my emergence. It would be inappropriate for our Dian Peak to occupy Xiaoyan Peak, but if they express a need, it would be much simpler to negotiate. Indeed. Han Ji's eyes sparkled with excitement, realizing that following the senior brother would lead to bountiful rewards. These are the provisions for you all, in the realm of cultivation. Strength is paramount. Elevate your skills swiftly and keep pace with me, Lu Zongming declared as he tossed out 2 storage bags. Understood. Is no one seeking to provoke me? Lin Bufan has been diligently cultivating during this period. However, it was not long before Su Yixue discovered she was with child. In the world of cultivation, there were no pregnancy tests to confirm this. As time passed, her belly began to swell. This revelation deprived Lin Bufan of his practice time, leaving him somewhat anxious. Yet, upon witnessing Su Yixue's morning sickness, his heart ached with compassion. After months of companionship, the shadows of the past had dissipated for Su Yixue, and news arrived from her family. The Su clan was safe, and the Hu clan had ceased their hostilities. With Lin Bufan by her side, Su Yixue felt immense joy, even forgetting that he was but a mortal. Is this physical constitution truly that of a commoner? Lying against Lin Bufan's chest, Su Yixue felt like the happiest woman alive. Come, you must eat some fruit now that you're pregnant. He lovingly fed her pieces of peeled fruit. With tender affection, Lin Bufan's hands wandered, much to the chagrin of Su Yixue, who shot him a sharp glance before restraining his hands. Husband, Xiao Rower is still here. Should we not return to our room? Su Yixue's eyes were dreamy and filled with emotion. Those eyes could melt even the iciest of glaciers. No, it is not suitable for you now. Lin Bufan, although captivated, understood the importance of restraint. After all, this was his child, and he could not act recklessly. Then, Su Yixue playfully shot him a bewitching glance and began to misbehave herself. Are you truly the second young lady of the Su family? You can't possibly be a little vixen, can you? Even Lin Bufan, with his exceptional composure, nearly resorted to the breaking heaven spear technique. That little demon belongs to you. The words slipped from his lips so naturally that it caused Lin Bufan to feel a sense of unease. At that moment, a surge of energy enveloped Xiao Rower as she practiced her marksmanship. Ignoring everything else, she cast a quick glance at Lin Bufan before promptly sitting cross-legged and closing her eyes in meditation. Reaching the 7th level of Qi refinement is quite commendable. Although Xiao Rower possessed a mortal body, she was significantly stronger than Lin Bufan. After a while, she finally awakened. Young master, I've reached the 7th level. I've done it. Xiao Rower exclaimed joyfully, tugging at Lin Bufan's arm. Indeed, but do not become complacent. Yixue has attained the 9th level of Qi refinement, and some prodigies can reach the foundation establishment stage by the ages of 15 or 16. Lin Bufan replied with a smile, feeling it necessary to keep her grounded. Humph. I'm off to prepare a meal. I am utterly famished. Xiaoro wrinkled her nose at Lin Bufan before turning away, uninterested in the young master's ramblings. During this time, Lin Bufan had set numerous warning bells around Xiaoyan Peak, ever vigilant against any clandestine intrusions. The recent disappearance of the 3 individuals only served to heighten his unease. Unable to cultivate the Yin-Yang Dao scripture, Lin Bufan devoted his days to honing his marksmanship. Yet, as time passed, no one had dared to disturb him. He held little faith that the so-called senior brother of Diyun Peak would simply let him be. The more the adversary remained patient, the more it indicated a grand conspiracy was afoot. Thus, it became imperative for him to bolster his strength. Lin Bufan resolved to utilize the resources of Xiaoyan Peak to nurture Xiao Rou and Su Yixue. He could also employ various spiritual herbs to enhance his physical resilience. Time swiftly passed. It had been over 9 months since Lin Bufan's wedding. In the grand hall of the Qingyun Sect's main peak, an elder inquired, "Respected sect master, we are uncertain how to distribute this year's cultivation resources." The Qingyun Sect allocated basic cultivation resources to its disciples monthly, which they were required to collect themselves. Any unclaimed resources could accumulate, as the path of cultivation was inherently perilous. Today's companions might become tomorrow's mere bones. Each year, Every peak would receive a portion of resources from the peak masters as capital for the development of the 5 factions. Resources for cultivation? Lu Chong mused, realizing the time had indeed arrived. Respected sect master, aside from Lin Bufan and the 2 others, all disciples of Xiao Peak have been dismissed. I believe we should reallocate the resources of the 5 factions, as many disciples from Xiao Peak have sought refuge in the other peaks, and the resources of Xiao Peak should be curtailed. Another voice chimed in. Indeed, sect master, without any nascent soul practitioners remaining at Xiao Peak, most disciples have migrated to Dayun Peak, rendering the cultivation resources rather insufficient. Even accommodations are lacking at Dayun Peak. The speaker was Yang Sheng, the master of Dayun Peak. Those who became peak masters were invariably powerful and stable individuals, trusted by all. As several peak masters and elders voiced their concerns, Lu Chong's brow furrowed in worry. Respected sect master, Lin Bufan requests an audience. At that moment, someone entered the grand hall to deliver the news. Lin Bufan. The assembly was taken aback. A mere mortal traversing from Xiao Peak to the main hall would take at least an hour and a half. Could he possibly have a matter of significance? Chapter 12. I have come to claim resources. Is that too much to ask? Let him in. Amidst the curious gazes of the assembly, Lin Bufan stepped through the door and positioned himself slightly forward, bowing respectfully to the sect master. I am Lin Bufan, here to pay my respects to the sect master and the esteemed elders. He surveyed the room, speaking with deference. Bufan, why are you here instead of Xiao Peak? Lu Chong inquired, somewhat perplexed. Sect master, I have come to claim the sect's resources. At Lin Bufan's words, Lu Chong and the elders were momentarily taken aback. It was likely that Lin Bufan was the first mortal to astonish cultivators in such a manner. Lin Bufan, do you truly comprehend the words you utter? Dave could not restrain his laughter as he directed his inquiry towards Lin Bufan. Of course, I am aware, sect master. I have come to collect the resources for Xiao Peak. Lin Bufan replied, once again clasping his fists in reverence towards Lu Chong. Humph. Your Xiao Peak is devoid of any members. What use do you have for resources? Furthermore, as a mere mortal, how can you cultivate with such provisions? If I recall correctly, your wife is merely at the 9th layer of Qi refinement, and your maidservants scarcely reach the 5th or 6th layers. Is the supply from Xiao Peak's storeroom insufficient? Dave could no longer contain himself, pondering whether this young man was merely jesting. Not just him, but the other elders also shook their heads, evidently perplexed by Lin Bufan's actions. Only Lu Chong regarded Lin Bufan with utmost seriousness. Bufan, do you not realize that Xiao Peak has no one left? These resources are intended for the disciples of the sect. We were just discussing the allocation of Xiao Peak's resources. Lu Chong stated plainly, with no hint of concealment. A subtle smile graced Lin Bufan's lips, clearly anticipating such a response. His purpose for being here today was indeed to acquire resources for Xiao Peak. He was in need. In truth, the storeroom of Xiao Peak was not barren. It contained ample supplies sufficient for Qi refinement cultivation, even with surplus. Even in the absence of external resources, it was feasible for Su Yixue and Xiao to reach the 2nd or 3rd layer of foundation establishment. Within the Qingyun Sect, many resources are accessible, including techniques, spells, and various talismans. Only the most common elixirs, spirit herbs, and spiritual liquids are stored in the storeroom. The more precious items are left to those deemed fortunate enough to obtain them. When resources are collectively acquired by the sect, aside from what is essential for the sect, other items may be kept for oneself, as they are a matter of personal fortune. Occasionally, one can exchange items of equivalent value or at a discount. Lin Bufan was aware of these nuances, yet he still chose to come. Sectmaster, I fail to understand why the resources of Xiao Peak should be shared with others. Lin Bufan raised his head, maintaining a dignified composure as he addressed Lu Chong. Lu Chong met Lin Bufan's gaze, momentarily taken aback. When had his nephew dared to speak so boldly? Bufan, do you not know that the disciples of Xiao Peak have already departed, redistributed to our other peaks? Were it not for the sect master's protection, Xiao Peak would likely have ceased to exist. Dave chuckled, finding the situation somewhat amusing despite his initial disdain. Oh, is that so? If the disciples of Xiao Peak have joined your other peaks, then they are undoubtedly your disciples now. What concern is that of Xiao Peak? My father has mentioned that resources are distributed evenly each year, irrespective of the number of disciples. If it were to be divided by headcount, then one could simply recruit more disciples. Lin Bufan's voice resonated with conviction as he retorted. He was not courting danger. Rather, he was wagering on the relationship between his brother and Lu Chong, as well as placing faith in his own lineage. Moreover, who claims that Xiao Yunfeng is devoid of presence? Although there are many traitors among us and those who forget their roots, I, Lin Bufan, remain steadfast alongside my wife, Su Yixue, and my maid, Xiao Roer. As for those who have departed, Huh. My father once proclaimed that those who are ungrateful shall not be befriended, and those who are treacherous shall not be approached. Though my father has left us, Xiao Yunfeng endures. His words were indeed fervent and impassioned. How dare you, a mere mortal, meddle in the affairs of the Qingyun Sect? Finally, someone could no longer tolerate it, and a powerful aura surged forth. Lin Bufan retreated 3 steps before regaining his composure. Enough. As Lu Chong spoke, the oppressive force shattered in an instant. Why must you burden a younger generation? After all, he is a descendant of senior brother Lin. Which among you has not benefited from senior brother Lin's kindness? With his fall, do you bear no responsibility? Upon hearing Lu Chong's words, all fell silent. Lin Bufan raised his gaze toward Lu Chong. Sect leader, is there more to my father's death? After all, Lin Yuan was Lin Bufan's father, who had always treated him well. If Lin Yuan's death was indeed unjust, Lin Bufan could not accept it. Even if he were but a mortal, he would not relent. If he could not seek vengeance himself, then he would ensure that his son or grandson would. Bufan, this matter is somewhat intricate. Let us first discuss the resources. Your Xiao Yunfeng has indeed diminished, and I can order the return of its members, dispatching an elder to assist you. How does that sound? Alternatively, I can provide you with 1/3 of the resources. The sect leader must consider the welfare of the entire sect. While he sought to protect Lin Bufan, he also needed to account for the sentiments of others. After all, this is the Qingyun Sect, which must consider all disciples. No, I will not accept those who have left Xiao Yunfeng. I refuse to share resources, Lin Bufan asserted, determined to retain what was rightfully his. Lin Bufan, do not act irrationally. Do you truly believe that Xiao Yunfeng will forever accommodate just the 3 of you? A mere mortal and 2 qi refiners? Granting you 1/3 of the resources is already generous. Do you fancy yourself a prodigy among the multitude? Daihe could no longer contain his disdain as he regarded Lin Bufan. Prodigy? Lin Bufan tilted his head toward Daihe, recognizing that he was indeed there to secure resources for his child, and the timing was nearly upon him. System, will you not clarify? Did you not say my child is to be born? Lin Bufan felt a pang of urgency. Indeed, he was calculating the time. His child was imminent, necessitating substantial resources. If he missed this opportunity, who could say whether he would obtain the materials from Xiao Yunfeng? The potential for development for a peak was immense, and the volume was unimaginable. A prodigy is indeed a rare marvel in the realm of cultivation. It is said that in the Eastern continent, a child prodigy was born, achieving greatness in a century, invincibility in 2, and transcending to immortality in 3, each capable of altering the fate of their sect. Daihe gazed longingly, for that was indeed a prodigy. Boom. At that moment, a sudden clap of thunder resonated from outside, and darkness enveloped the sky. What could be happening? Chapter 13. The auspicious Qi from the east, radiant light for miles. The crowd was taken aback. Those who practice the Tao defy the heavens, and only the might of the heavens could incite such fear. The sect leader and the elders swiftly moved outside the grand hall. The disciples of Qingyun Sect had already gathered, gazing in terror at the heavens. Lin Bufan followed suit. The sky above Qingyun Sect was shrouded in ominous clouds, which churned violently, particularly over the peak of Little Cloud. Everyone turned their eyes toward that direction, where mist danced around Little Cloud Peak. Master, just moments ago, the sky was clear, yet suddenly, a formidable celestial power emerged, and dark clouds obscured the heavens, all within the vicinity of Qingyun Peak, specifically Little Cloud Peak. A disciple who had been outside promptly reported to the sect leader while glancing at Lin Bufan. Little Cloud Peak? Lu Chong was somewhat astonished, pondering what significance it held. It seemed devoid of anything extraordinary. Could it be that a rare treasure was emerging? However, Qingyun Sect had existed here for millennia without discovering any treasures beneath any of its peaks. This was peculiar. Everyone raised their heads to the sky, where the clouds appeared to writhe like a monstrous beast. The entire Qingyun Sect was enveloped in this dark haze, the oppressive atmosphere reminiscent of a calamity from the heavens, exuding a sense of apocalyptic might, with the clouds descending ever lower. A heavenly tribulation? Could it be a heavenly tribulation? If a tribulation were approaching, it could either indicate the emergence of a rare treasure or someone's ascension, or a rare treasure was implausible. Ascension was even less likely. He had not displayed such might even upon reaching the nascent soul stage, nor had his predecessor manifested such phenomena upon reaching the transformation stage. Could it be? Lu Chong suddenly turned his gaze toward Lin Bufan. On Little Cloud Peak, only Lin Bufan, his wife, and his maid were present. A rare treasure was impossible. Calculating the time, it had already been 10 months since Lin Bufan's wedding. Lin Bufan also gazed toward the heavens, particularly in the direction of Little Cloud Peak. By my grandfather's grandfather, is this the might of the heavens? System, You never warned me that birthing a child would provoke such celestial power. Is the heavens going to strike down Little Cloud Peak? Boom. Indeed, lightning flickered within the clouds. Near Little Cloud Peak, the clouds seemed to come alive, swirling around it, with dark clouds slowly rotating and extending downward from the center. Let us go. The sect leader's expression changed dramatically as his right hand flicked, binding Lin Bufan. Before he stepped forward, by the time Lin Bufan realized what was happening, he found himself soaring 1,000 meters above ground, with the peaks of Qingyun Sect beneath him. The rushing wind roared past, yet did not push him down, as the sect leader's protective energy enveloped him. Is this the sensation of flying? Lin Bufan looked down from the heights, a spark of fervor igniting within him. The path of cultivation was simply magnificent. What would have taken nearly 2 hours to reach Little Cloud Peak now seemed to be traversed in the blink of an eye at the sect leader's command. Behind them, the elders followed closely, their expressions grave. Upon reaching Xiao Peak, the group realized that the sky loomed ominously low, with dark clouds resembling the claws of a monstrous creature hanging overhead. A mere ascent would risk being torn to shreds by this beast. At the core of this foreboding atmosphere lay the very abode of Lin Bufan. The onlookers exchanged glances, uncertain of what awaited them within the dwelling. Just as two elders prepared to enter, a cry emanated from within the house. Sister, hold on just a little longer. I will fetch the young master. In that moment, a woman clad in red burst forth from the entrance, her expression fraught with urgency. She paused momentarily upon encountering the multitude before her. The sky outside shrouded in darkness. Her gaze brightened when it met Lin Bufan's. Young master, hurry. Sister is about to give birth. Xiao, unfamiliar with the assembly, only recognized Lin Bufan and rushed toward him, pulling him into the house. Lin Bufan, is there to be an offspring? A quick calculation of time suggested it was indeed imminent. It must be Su Yixue. Thus, this celestial phenomenon heralded the birth of Lin Bufan's child. Those present were the core figures of Qingyun Sect, with even the least among them being an elder, seasoned and worldly. Yet, to witness such a heavenly occurrence accompanying a birth was unprecedented. Upon hearing this, Lin Bufan dashed forward but was halted by the sect master. Slow down. What can you do at the moment of birth? Wait here. Jiang Qiong, please assist. Lu Chong gestured to the right. Yes, do not fret, Bufan. Young lady, fetch some warm water. Jiang Qiong, the leader of Duanyue Peak and the only female peak master among the five, was a third-tier nascent soul cultivator. Her gaze toward Lin Bufan bore a hint of affection. Sect master, Elder Jiang, consider carefully. The dark clouds roll ominously. It is apparent they seek to extinguish this child. What sort of person could invoke such a heavenly wrath? This phenomenon seems to portend the annihilation of a malevolent force. Lin Bufan suddenly turned at these words. The speaker, an elder with a goat-like beard, regarded the house ahead with a glint of malice in his eyes. Lin Bufan narrowed his gaze. Old fool, what did you just say? Enough, Elder Mu. Are you aware of the gravity of your words? You dare speak of malevolent forces? Lu Chong admonished, causing Elder Mu to quickly clasp his hands and bow his head in fear. I have heard that among the unparalleled geniuses of Zhongzhou, there once was an immortal king whose birth was heralded by a Qilin phenomenon. He established his foundation at 10, formed his golden core at 20, achieved nascent soul at 30, and ascended to immortality at 100. If Bufan's offspring also manifests a phenomenon, with diligent cultivation, it is possible that Qingyun Sect may welcome a Qilin child. What malevolence! Speak such nonsense again, and you shall be confined to the back mountain. The rumbling thunder could indeed be considered a phenomenon. However, within the minds of the crowd, no one had encountered an ominous cloud pressing down from above. This misunderstanding was not unwarranted. Yet, how could Lin Bufan's child possibly be a malevolent force? Neither Lin Bufan nor Lin Yuan were, and neither was Su Yixue, especially considering one was immortal and the other merely at the foundation stage. Their ancestry was well known. Where could any evil be found? Boom. The sky was shrouded in ominous clouds, a sight that was already quite terrifying. Just as Lu Chong was about to utter another word, a resounding roar emanated from the east. Suddenly, it seemed as though a sword had cleaved through the dark clouds, revealing a glimmer of light. In an instant, a beam of radiance surged forth from the distance, illuminating Lin Bufan's residence with a breathtaking brilliance. The scene was utterly awe-inspiring. In that fleeting moment, the entire Qingyun Sect was bathed in a resplendent purple hue. Subsequently, 1 beam, 2 beams, 3 beams, countless streams of violet light pierced through the clouds, cascading directly onto Xiao Peak, enveloping Lin Bufan's abode in their glow. Was this the arrival of auspicious purple qi, a celestial radiance stretching for miles? Was this an innate Dao body? A voice, filled with astonishment, broke the silence. Lu Chong's expression shifted dramatically. He trembled all over. his eyes sparkling with intensity as he commanded, "Quickly, seal the mountain gates, and activate the protective formation of Qingyun Sect. No one is to leave the mountain without my command." Chapter 14. The Tao Te Ching, a slap in the face. The elders were taken aback, particularly the one with the goat beard. He had never anticipated that this celestial phenomenon would transform, and just as he was preparing to depart, he suddenly felt at least 3 powerful presences locking onto him. The goat-bearded elder could only offer a wry smile, remaining rooted to the spot. He understood that his previous remarks about demons had already displeased some individuals, making it prudent to stay put. The ominous clouds above were completely penetrated, coalescing into a vibrant tapestry of purple qi. The entirety of Xiaoyun Peak was enveloped in this resplendent glow, with boundless spiritual energy permeating the air. Above, a swirling vortex of dark clouds erupted with a thunderous crash, and amidst the purple light, a 7-colored radiance burst forth, forming a straight beam of light. In that moment, all disciples of Qingyun Sect turned their gazes towards the spectacle, their eyes filled with profound astonishment. They were merely ordinary disciples and had never witnessed such an immense display of power. Whispers of speculation filled the air, while a few among them, aware of the significance, felt their hair stand on end in shock. At that moment, at least 100 sound transmission talismans were activated, but the Qingyun Sect was already enveloped in swirling mists. With formations and runes circulating in the sky, powerful presences swept over the sect repeatedly, obscuring everything within the formation. Even the most junior of servant disciples could sense that something monumental was occurring within Qingyun Sect today. What divine retribution! This is the manifestation of the heavenly Tao. The auspicious purple qi is arriving, and the legendary innate Dao body has appeared in our Qingyun Sect. With such a prodigy among us, our sect shall rise in the eastern continent. Lu Chong laughed heartily, elated. "Jiang Qiong, hurry. We must protect her and her daughter." Lu Chong was overwhelmed with joy. In the world of cultivation, strength was measured by prowess, and the caliber of disciples was determined by their levels of cultivation. The development of an individual hinged upon their innate talents. In this realm, there existed certain individuals blessed with exceptional constitutions by the heavens. They could leverage their innate gifts to surpass all obstacles. As long as they did not bring ruin upon themselves in their youth, they could generally ascend to great heights. Without hesitation, Jiang Qiong seized Zairower and soared into the room. Lu Chong grasped Lin Bufan tightly, exclaiming, "Bufan, you have achieved a tremendous feat this time." "An innate Dao body?" Lin Bufan murmured. "Indeed, as I had predicted, the Tao Te Ching is extraordinary, a creation of the progenitor of Taoism. I never anticipated its efficacy in the realm of cultivation." At this moment, a glimmer of excitement crossed Lin Bufan's eyes as he beheld the descending rays of colorful light. A faint smile gracing his lips. The son of Laozi is truly remarkable. After a decade or so of training, what greatness might he achieve? At that time, the Qingyun Sect will surely dote upon him. While I may not possess such lofty talents, my son certainly does. Is it not true that a father's status is elevated by his child's accomplishments? Lin Bufan felt emboldened to speak a little louder. If he were to encounter Daihao again as he had during his first visit to the main hall, he would undoubtedly unleash a torrent of ire upon him to alleviate his pent-up frustrations. After the duration of a stick of incense, the spiritual energy around Xiaoyun Peak surged to its zenith. Meanwhile, the energy within the Qingyun Sect flowed harmoniously. Suddenly, intricate and profound runes materialized around the vibrant rays of light. A faint luminescence began to permeate the entire Qingyun Sect. In that moment, the true qi within every individual began to circulate involuntarily. Those with higher aptitude seemed to gain insight and promptly settled into a meditative posture. The sect master and others were equally astounded. Heavenly Dao runes. Quickly, focus on your cultivation. These runes can aid in enhancing one's prowess. Lu Chong immediately seated himself cross-legged, his excitement intensifying. Lin Bufan, too, felt the true qi within him begin to flow, and its pace quickened. This was his first experience of true qi outside of his union with Su Yixue. Ding! Congratulations to the host. Your first offspring has been born. Possessing an innate Dao body, host constitution has transformed. Suddenly, a system notification chimed in. However, Lin Bufan had no time to examine it, his nervous gaze fixed ahead. After what felt like an eternity, he could hear the sound of a child's cries. "Wawa, it's here." Lin Bufan's eyes sparkled as he dashed forward in haste. As the radiance in the sky gradually faded, calmness returned. "Congratulations, a precious daughter." At that moment, the door swung open, revealing Jiang Qiong cradling a newborn at the threshold. "Ha, daughter." Lin Bufan reached out several times, hesitant to embrace her, fearing he might harm such a tiny being. Yet, upon seeing Lin Bufan, the infant, who had been crying, suddenly broke into a joyful giggle. Never mind, I shall wait until she grows a bit. Lin Bufan scratched his head, while Jiang Qiong chuckled and nodded, recognizing the clumsiness of a large man. Turning to Su Yixue within the room, Lin Bufan exclaimed, Yixue, you have worked hard. Having just given birth, Su Yixue's complexion appeared pale, and she weakly shook her head. Xiao Rou, quickly, prepare some nourishing soup for Yixue to restore her strength. All right, I shall do so at once. Xiao Rou, also enchanted by the sight of such a small being, left to attend to the task upon hearing the call. At that moment, Lu Chong and others entered the room as well. He placed his right hand upon the infant's forehead, a luminous glow emanating from his palm. Indeed, she was truly endowed with an innate Dao body, manifesting in a little girl. Regardless of gender, such a constitution promises monumental achievements. I have met the sect master. Su Yixue was somewhat taken aback to see Lu Chong arrive in person, as she was unaware of the events unfolding outside. No need for excessive formality, Yixue. Congratulations on giving birth to a Qilin child. Now, it is essential for you to take care of your health. Unfan, there is a matter I wish to discuss with you. Lu Chong spoke with a hint of impatience. Master, please go ahead. Lin Bufan surmised the nature of the conversation and turned his gaze toward Lu Chong. I wish to take your daughter as my disciple. I hope you will consent. Lu Chong said, a touch of embarrassment evident in his demeanor. However, such an innate Dao body must be accepted as a disciple without delay. Indeed, Lin Bufan observed Lu Chong, noticing that even the esteemed leader of the Qingyun Sect appeared somewhat anxious. The other elders seemed eager to interject, yet they found themselves unable to contest the leader's wishes. Lin Bufan looked towards Su Yixue, demonstrating his respect for her, and she nodded, clearly excited. If her child were to be accepted as a disciple by the sect leader, it would undoubtedly bring her substantial benefits, as well as for the child. Very well. Of course, I agree, but Lin Bufan's gaze swept across Lu Chong and the few individuals accompanying him, hesitating slightly. Unfan, the innate Dao body is of paramount importance. It may even determine the rise or fall of the Qingyun Sect. Feel free to state your conditions, and I shall agree to what I can. I will treat her as my personal disciple. As you know, I have yet to take any personal disciple among my students. Lu Chong declared with a flourish of his sleeve. Lin Bufan was precisely seeking this attitude from Lu Chong. All right, then I shall speak. I recall an elder mentioning that as long as I have a Qilin child, I would be entitled to the resources of Xiaoyan Peak. I wonder if this still holds true? Suddenly, the expression of Dai He among the crowd darkened. The slap in the face had come rather swiftly. Upon hearing this, Lu Chong chuckled. Ah, indeed, the youth bear grudges. I agree to this condition. Chapter 15. The sect leader bestows a name. More affectionate thank you, sect leader. I have a second request. I hope an elder can visit once every half-month to instruct Su Yixue and Xiao Rou in their cultivation. You are aware that there are currently only the three of us. No, for individuals on Xiaoyan Peak. I desire a venerable elder of great virtue and selflessness to provide guidance. This was Lin Bufan's second condition, aimed at ensuring the welfare of Su Yixue and Xiao Rou. Cultivation is no simple endeavor. Having someone to provide dedicated instruction would be most beneficial. Other peaks typically have their leaders responsible for delivering teachings. If the peak leader is occupied, there are also elder instructors available. Unfortunately, several esteemed elders from Xiaoyan Peak had perished alongside Lin Yuan, leading to their eventual dispersal. Lu Chong regarded Lin Bufan with a glimmer of admiration. He had not anticipated that Lin Bufan would still consider the well-being of his wife and maidservant at this stage. Very well, I agree to your request. He could discern that Lin Bufan sought resources and an elder instructor to expedite Su Yixue and Xiao Rou's advancement in cultivation. With an innate Dao body in the mix, Xiaoyan Peak could attain foundational or even nascent stages within just over a decade, thereby regaining control once more. He would not articulate this point. The absence of intellect would be the most terrifying aspect. Of course, it is also due to Lu Chong's consideration for Lin Yuan. And there is a third condition. Lin Bufan spoke again. Lin Bufan, how can you have more conditions? How many do you need? Dai He could no longer contain himself. This was too excessive. This fellow was utterly outrageous, previously demanding resources in the Great Hall, and now he sought everything. Coupled with Lin Bufan's demeanor, his fiery temper was on the verge of eruption. Esteemed elder, I am merely conveying the words of the sect leader. Please refrain from interrupting. Lin Bufan cast a disdainful glance at Dai He, thinking, I am the father of the sect leader's disciple. Do you dare to provoke me? When my daughter grows up, I shall deal with you first. Dai He was on the brink of exploding. Why did this brat consistently oppose him? No matter, I have agreed. These matters are inconsequential. The sect leader waved his hand, interrupting Dai He. Lin Bufan, with a smug expression, cast another disdainful glance at Dai He before turning to Lu Chong. This is the final point. I hope that Xiao Yunfeng will not be merged or directly assigned to others, at least not within the next 20 years. Upon saying this, Lin Bufan's expression grew serious, and he performed a respectful bow to Lu Chong. Several elders attempted to speak, but were halted by Lu Chong. Very well. I can agree to this, but during the sect's recruitment, I will still need to enlist some disciples for entry and exit. After all, Xiao Yunfeng is too few in number and requires some miscellaneous and lower-ranked disciples. I believe your father has informed you that these 5 peaks actually form a grand formation, nurtured within the spiritual essence of heaven and earth. In critical moments, it requires numerous disciples to activate together. I cannot leave a pivotal position vacant. The cultivation world is inherently one of the strong preying upon the weak, and the vicissitudes of life are unpredictable. No one can guarantee peace for 20 years. Lin Bufan asked earnestly, and Lu Chong responded with equal gravity. He spoke from the heart, acknowledging the truth of the matter. All right. After some contemplation, Lin Bufan ultimately agreed, but insisted on ensuring the identity of newcomers and the purpose of any elder who comes to impart teachings. You understand, human hearts are inscrutable. Lin Bufan did not believe that safety could be guaranteed within a sect. His audacity to confront others stemmed entirely from Lu Chong's borrowed authority along with his child status. Who could guarantee that no hidden malice lurked against him? Lu Chong clearly comprehended Lin Bufan's concerns. Rest assured, the disciples sent to Xiao Yunfeng will undoubtedly be carefully selected. Moreover, from this day forth, anyone who dares to lay a hand on my disciple's family shall be considered my enemy. Even if I were to relinquish my position as the sect leader, I would still seek a reckoning. Furthermore, the matter of the innate Dao body must not be disclosed. Otherwise, it may bring calamity upon Qingyun Sect. Lu Chong's words were spoken with utmost sincerity. The innate Dao body is of paramount importance. Master, allow me to teach Lin Bufan's disciples. At this moment, Jiang Qiong stepped forward. Junior sister Jiang Qiong? Lu Chong was taken aback, looking at Jiang Qiong. Jiang Qiong? Oh, you are Jiang Qiong? Lin Bufan's eyes brightened as he gazed at the woman. Previously, he had only noticed the celestial phenomena and had not paid attention to her name. It is I. Jiang Qiong nodded with a smile. I have heard my father mention you. Hello. Lu Chong immediately cleared his throat, interrupting Lin Bufan. Jiang Qiong, who had cherished Lin Bufan's father since childhood, was a subject of gossip that Lin Bufan had overheard from several elders. He had never met Jiang Qiong until the untimely passing of his father. Upon closer inspection, Jiang Qiong appeared to be under 40. However, aside from her eyes that bore the weight of many trials and a regal demeanor, her skin, figure, and beauty belied her true age, suggesting she was merely in her late 20s. My apologies, Master Jiang. Lin Bufan understood that such gossip should not be casually discussed. You are Lin Deji's child. Simply call me Andy. In the future, I shall instruct you and your family. As for your children, that task falls to the sect leader. His father's old flame? Surely. She would not bring harm to herself, especially not as the leader of a peak. Those who attain such positions are invariably trustworthy. Very well, then I shall trouble you. Auntie. Lin Bufan's utterance of auntie was almost instinctive. After all, who would not lean on a mighty tree for support? All right, I shall trouble you, Master Jiang. It would be prudent to send a few more individuals to safeguard Xiaoyan Peak, and in a few days, we shall recruit some junior disciples. Understood. Lu Chong swiftly made the necessary arrangements. By the way, Bufan, what shall we name my disciple? Suddenly, Lu Chong's eyes sparkled as he gazed upon the infant, whose fair skin and delightful coos captivated everyone present. A name? Lin Bufan turned to Su Yixue. My dear, it's your turn. Su Yixue found herself at a loss for words. The naming was best left to Lin Bufan. Master, this is my daughter and your disciple. Perhaps you could bestow upon her a name? The thought of having a disciple named by the master was thrilling for Lin Bufan. Certainly, Lu Chong was eager to oblige. My disciple must embody the essence of an immortal emperor, hence she cannot bear a mundane name. Let us call her Lin Yue. Lu Chong, with hands clasped behind his back and gaze elevated at a 45-degree angle, presented a solemn visage to the audience as he spoke. Goodness! With such an expression and those words, he has completely overshadowed Lin Bufan's intentions. Lin Bufan wished to express that his daughter should indeed possess an extraordinary presence, one that was truly remarkable. Lin Yue, a splendid name. At that moment, it seemed as though everyone envisioned a graceful figure clad in white, standing beneath the moonlight, looking down upon all living beings. Chapter 16. Enhancement of Spiritual Roots. Transformation into 3 clear ones. The innate Dao body indeed garnered respect. Lu Chong's considerations were commendable. Regardless of Lin Yue's future achievements, he would always be her enlightening mentor. His influence would echo throughout the annals of history. Before long, everyone departed, leaving only Lin Bufan, Su Yixue, and a few others in the room. As Lin Yue nestled against Su Yixue and drifted into slumber, Lin Bufan gently caressed Su Yixue's cheek. My dear, I feel a breakthrough approaching. Su Yixue suddenly exclaimed. A breakthrough? Indeed, I must refine my skills. It is said that after giving birth, Su Yixue would experience considerable physical exhaustion and a depletion of her vital energy. However, she felt an invigorating surge of energy coursing through her entire being, her body increasingly brimming with strength. This was in stark contrast to what she had anticipated. Wait for me a moment. I shall return shortly, she instructed. Xiao, you take the child and leave first. A breakthrough requires an abundance of spiritual energy, and who knows whether it might affect the child. It is best for Xiao to take the baby away for now. Lin Bufan gathered numerous spirit stones and elixirs, placing them beside Su Yixue. At this moment, she sat cross-legged, her palms facing the heavens, as an aura of energy enveloped her, forming a formidable protective barrier. Lin Bufan could not help but lick his lips. Contemplating the prospect of his wife achieving foundation establishment, he settled into a nearby chair, awaiting the outcome. It was then that Lin Bufan recalled the system notification he had received earlier. Ding! Congratulations, host, on welcoming your first child. You have acquired the innate Dao body. Your constitution has transformed, elevating from a mundane body to a low-tier spirit root, now possessing 1/10 of the innate Dao body's attributes. Ding! Congratulations on obtaining the celestial grade technique, 1 Qi transforming into 3 purities. Upon reading this notification, Lin Bufan perused it 3 times, and upon confirming its authenticity, his eyes sparkled with excitement. The prospect of childbirth enhancing one's spirit root and granting a fraction of formidable attributes was astonishing. Did this mean that he could cultivate? Yet, even if it was merely 1/10, the celestial grade technique was indeed remarkable. 1 Qi transforming into 3 purities, a legendary practice. There are 2 interpretations of this technique. One relates to Pangu, who, at a critical juncture, transformed his original spirit into 3 purities to assist in the creation of the universe. The other attributes it to Laozi, who is said to have transformed the primordial energy into 3 purities, which represent Taishang Laojun, Yuanshi Tianzuan, and Lingbao Daojun. Some even interpret it as the celestial, human, and earthly trinity. Regardless of the perspective, it is undeniably formidable. However, this pertains to a technique rather than a spell. Lin Bufan glanced at Su Yixue and noted that she exhibited no abnormalities, while the spirit stones around her were rapidly depleting, their energy permeating the surroundings. Thus, Lin Bufan settled down beside her, harnessing the powerful spiritual energy to commence his own cultivation. 1 Qi transforming into 3 purities allows for the cultivation of the Sea of Consciousness, the Sea of Qi, and the soul. Following the instructions of the technique in his mind, Lin Bufan immediately began to circulate his cultivation. Soon, he sensed a surge of energy. His cultivation progressed swiftly from the first layer of Qi refinement to the second, then the third, and quickly reached the 5th layer. During his cultivation, Lin Bufan suddenly opened his eyes. No, I cannot deplete the spiritual energy surrounding Su Yixue. It would be best for me to find a place rich in spiritual energy to cultivate. He forcibly halted his cultivation and turned his attention to Su Yixue. Her aura was growing increasingly potent, soon reaching the initial stage of foundation establishment. The overwhelming energy filled Lin Bufan with envy. After what felt like a fragrant incense had burned, Su Yixue finally opened her eyes. Husband, she exclaimed, a glimmer of excitement sparkling in her gaze. Have I succeeded? Yes, he replied. As Lin Bufan approached, Su Yixue enveloped him in a warm embrace. Husband, thank you. I have finally reached the foundation establishment stage, and inexplicably, my spiritual root has also advanced to a middle grade level. With such a caliber, I can become an inner disciple in a cultivation sect. I believe it is thanks to you and Xiao Yui. Su Yixue held him tightly, as if fearing he might vanish at any moment. An enhancement in spiritual roots? Lin Bufan suddenly recalled the Yin-Yang Dao Classic, a rather peculiar technique. Could it truly alter one as constitution? It seemed prudent to explore this further. To be honest, after reaching the 9th level of Qi refinement, my progress has significantly slowed. It is exceedingly difficult for a low-grade spiritual root to break through. However, since marrying you, I have felt my cultivation loosening, and my comprehension of the power of heaven and earth has sharpened. After giving birth to Xiao Yui, not only has my cultivation improved, but my spiritual root has also ascended. This must be the influence of you and Xiao Yui. Ah, husband, have you reached the 5th level of Qi refinement? Suddenly, Su Yixue discovered Lin Bufan had indeed attained a level of cultivation. This 5th level was no mere fabrication. Her spiritual perception confirmed it thrice. Shu, this is a secret. It is also a gift from you and Xiao Yui. For now, please keep it under wraps. I do not wish for anyone to discover it. Understood. Su Yixue nodded obediently. Lin Bufan suddenly pondered something, closing his eyes as he circulated his cultivation. Soon, his aura vanished once more. Husband you. It is merely a technique for concealing cultivation. Our child, the innate Dao body, draws many covetous eyes even within the sect. Concealing our strength serves as a safeguard. In the one Qi transforming three pure ones, there exists a method for hiding one's cultivation. As long as one refrains from employing true Qi, one remains undetected, a splendid stratagem for appearing weaker than one truly is. Indeed, husband, I grasp your intent. I never anticipated that despite being immortal, you possess such profound understanding of the rules of the cultivation world. Su Yixue gazed up at Lin Bufan from within his embrace, her eyes brimming with affection, as if ready to overflow. Husband, Su Yixue's hands began to wander. Your body, fear not. I have just reached foundation establishment and absorbed a plethora of essence. My body has long since recovered. As long as I do not overexert myself, I shall be fine. It was curious. After giving birth, Su Yixue exuded an even more enchanting aura. Lin Bufan had endured for so long. How could he possibly restrain himself now? In the grand hall of the Qingyun Sect, the doors remained firmly shut, with only the most significant figures present. Esteemed colleagues, you are now aware of the situation. The arrival of the innate Dao body means that if we nurture it well, our Qingyun Sect shall ascend to great heights. However, this secret must be safeguarded. I, Lu Chong, hereby warn all present, should any information leak, and should it endanger the innate Dao body, it shall be tantamount to declaring war against me. There will be no respite. Lu Chong's cultivation erupted. He was no longer at the 5th level of the nascent soul, but had advanced to the 6th. Chapter 17. Insufficient resources, the hunger of predatory gazes master. You have ascended. The crowd gasped in astonishment. The nascent soul was already the highest combat power within the Qingyun Sect. With each ascension to a new rank, one's combat prowess multiplies exponentially, particularly after reaching the 5th stage of the nascent soul. The 6th stage of the nascent soul is hardly noteworthy. I anticipate that within a century, we may witness the emergence of a god transformation expert. The sect's grand formation remains activated, rendering any escape impossible. Now, I command you to investigate who has sent communication talismans during this period and who wishes to leave. Furthermore, I require you to erase the memories of all disciples concerning this strange phenomenon. It is imperative that we ensure absolute success. Master, do you mean everyone? Elder Zhong was taken aback. With over 10,000 members in the Qingyun Sect, nearly all had witnessed the celestial anomalies. And memory erasure could only be accomplished by those at the late stage of core formation or above. Yes, everyone. It is time to eliminate a faction of the sect's spies. Do not accuse me, Lu, of being ruthless. This matter pertains to the very legacy of the Qingyun Sect. Moreover, I intend to dispatch 2 nascent soul elders to closely monitor Xiao Peak. Lin Bufan and Su Yixue must be protected at all costs. Sister Jiang Qiao, I urge you to send someone immediately. Soon, due to the emergence of the innate Dao body, the entire Qingyun Sect bustled under Lu Chong's orders. At Xiao Peak, Lin Bufan sat cross-legged at the edge of a precipice. With a flick of his wrist, countless spirit stones and elixirs materialized before him. Now, let us see how much my cultivation can be enhanced. Lin Bufan had meticulously prepared time for his training. With Su Yixue having just given birth and recently advancing in her own cultivation, Lin Bufan sought merely to indulge himself, refraining from excessive demands. At this stage, focusing entirely on cultivation was paramount. Possessing a robust physique, and having previously consumed some diluted elixirs, Lin Bufan hesitated not a moment and swallowed a dozen Qi-enhancing pills without reserve, subsequently surrounding himself with a pile of spirit stones. The one Qi transforming into 3 clears mantra activated, and a vast stream of energy flowed into his body. Before long, the meridians within Lin Bufan were filled with true energy. This energy then divided into 3 parts. One flowed into his brow, another coalesced in his dantian, and the last gathered at Baihui. Lin Bufan's cultivation surged from the 5th to the 6th level of Qi refinement, then to the 7th, and finally to the 8th level. Rapidly, he found himself stymied at the pinnacle of the 9th level. What on earth? Lin Bufan furrowed his brow, summoning another heap of spirit stones and swallowing 5 or 6 bottles of Qi-enhancing pills as if they were free. Yet, his cultivation remained stuck at the apex of Qi refinement. Am I truly halted? Lin Bufan opened his eyes, surveying the remnants of pulverized spirit stones and empty elixir bottles around him. Why do I feel as though my consumption of spirit stones is 3 times that of an ordinary person? This is merely the 9th level of Qi refinement, and I have yet to brush the edges of foundation establishment. Will my future advancements in cultivation lead to my own demise? System, what sort of technique is this? Why does it consume so much true energy? Lin Bufan could not help but grumble. Beep. Response to the host. Is it so easy to cultivate a heavenly grade technique? The one chi transforming into 3 clears requires the cultivation of 3 internal palaces. However, its power is formidable. Formidable power? Lin Bufan's brow knitted in concern. According to the rules, the higher the level of cultivation techniques, the more resources they demand, yet one's own strength will significantly increase as well. Considering this, the resources at my disposal on Xiaoyan Peak are rather meager. I shall wait for the sect leader to deliver more resources. Achieving the 9th level of chi refinement is commendable in itself. However, I require additional resources. My child is entrusted to the sect leader, and I can request resources directly. But since he is my child, I must also provide him with special care. Additionally, I have my own consumption to consider, along with Su Yixue and Xiao Rower. The scarcity of resources is exasperating. Lin Bufan felt a surge of frustration. In the realm of cultivation, resources are paramount, and without them, all efforts are in vain. I must swiftly acquire more resources. Furthermore, regarding my spiritual root, I currently possess a low-grade spiritual root. If having one child can elevate me to a low-grade spiritual root, then with 2 more, I could potentially ascend to a medium-grade spiritual root and gain an additional 10th of my child's attributes. Imagine if I were to have 10 innate Dao bodies. Would I not then become one myself? The more Lin Bufan pondered, the brighter his prospects appeared. The lack of resources was a fundamental concern, yet procreation could yield tremendous benefits. He had already begun to scheme for a 2nd, 3rd, and even 4th child, ideally aiming for octuplets. Perhaps this notion was overly ambitious. Su Yixue is my wife, not some mere animal. Nevertheless, each childbirth necessitates formidable resources. I possess the Dao De Jing, yet I ought to have other treasures. Where might I procure such artifacts? Lin Bufan was not an academic prodigy, though he enjoyed reading. He retained only a few titles in his memory. Aside from the Dao De Jing, he knew he could gamble on that, but other books seemed less promising. Surely, I cannot transcribe the Jin Ping Mei. What an absurdity that would be. No. Lin Bufan hastily dismissed that thought. For the first time, he felt the weight of regret. Had he known he would traverse to this world, he would have read extensively beforehand. Resources, exotic treasures, and even rare herbs and divine weapons were precisely what I needed at this juncture. Lin Bufan pondered, gazing towards the outskirts of Qingyun Sect. With his current low cultivation, he could not venture outside. He must swiftly break through to the foundation establishment stage, perhaps to seize an opportunity. Young master, I finally found you. At that moment, Xiao Rower rushed in, flustered. What is it, Xiao Rower? Lin Bufan turned to her, inquiring. Master Jiang Qiongfeng has arrived, accompanied by a dozen others. She said they are here to look after and ensure my sister's safety. Xiao Rower explained. Jiang Qiong? Lin Bufan's eyes brightened. Indeed, Jiang Qiong had come. As an old flame of his, and a formidable cultivator in the nascent soul stage, it should be no trouble to request some treasures from her. Regardless of Jiang Qiong's sentiments, Lin Bufan felt optimistic. There is a saying, love the house and its crow. Since Jiang Qiong referred to him as uncle, they were akin to family. Excitement gleamed in Lin Bufan's eyes, startling Xiao Rower. Young master, what are you doing? Your gaze is as if you intend to devour someone. Xiao Rower timidly remarked. Having never witnessed such a look before. What do you understand? Come, quickly take me. My aunt has arrived, and I am overjoyed. Do not speak nonsense. Lin Bufan exclaimed, pulling Xiao Rower downstairs. Chapter 18. In the future, aunt will cherish you. Upon Lin Bufan's return to his residence, he was greeted by the sight of 10 women standing in the courtyard. Within, Jiang Qiong and 2 other women engaged in conversation with Su Yixue. The women outside possessed foundational and chi cultivation, while the 2 inside exuded an aura of formidable strength, leading Lin Bufan to suspect they were at the core formation stage. Clearly, Jiang Qiong held significant regard for this gathering. Aunt, you have arrived. The moment Lin Bufan stepped inside, he greeted her with a smile. Bufan, you are back? Oh. Upon catching her first glimpse of Lin Bufan, Jiang Qiong swiftly moved to his side. Chi refinement stage 1. You have begun your cultivation? Jiang Qiong scrutinized Lin Bufan from head to toe, inquiring. Indeed, Lin Bufan affirmed, deliberately revealing his cultivation level at Chi refinement stage 1. He pondered that it was essential for others to harbor a glimmer of hope in him. Should any circumstances arise, he needed a reasonable justification for his actions. Yes, aunt. You have a keen eye. However, due to my physical constitution, I have only reached the first stage of Chi refinement, and it feels rather feeble. Please, have a seat. Lin Bufan gestured for Jiang Qiong to sit down, genuinely concerned that she might discern the truth of his situation. He needed to swiftly divert the conversation. Aunt, thank you for coming to see her and her mother. Lin Bufan expressed his gratitude with a glimmer in his eyes. Oh, you silly child. What nonsense are you speaking? You are still the son of Lin Dage, and the sect leader has already decreed that someone should assist in looking after you. However, your constitution. Alas, if Lin Dage were to know you have begun cultivating, he would undoubtedly be even more delighted, Jiang Qiong remarked, casting a wistful glance toward a distant direction. Mentioning Lin Bufan's father caused Lin Yuan to lapse into silence. Perhaps this was a benefit brought about by my child. My spiritual root has also reached the inferior grade. Yet without my father to guide me, I am uncertain how far I can progress. Lin Bufan fabricated an excuse, speaking with a hint of melancholy. Do not fear. Your father in the heavens will surely be pleased. Bufan, both of you have truly astonished me. In just one day, Yishue has advanced to the foundation establishment stage. And you have reached the first stage of qi refinement, not to mention the improvement in your physical constitution. Do not worry, Aunt will teach you diligently. With a wave of her right hand, Jiang Qiong produced a storage ring. Within this ring are the supplies from the sect leader for you, Xiao Yunfeng. You have just gained true qi. I will erase the seal on it, and you simply need to wear the ring. As she spoke, she placed the ring into Lin Bufan's hands. Thank you, Aunt. As he activated his true qi, the array on the ring immediately sprang to life. Upon gazing inside, Lin Bufan's eyes widened with delight. The ring contained an abundance of crystals, elixirs, and even magical treasures. It held the resources of an entire mountain, and the quantity was undoubtedly substantial. With such resources, Lin Bufan was certain he could directly cultivate to the foundation establishment stage. Such an abundance. Lin Bufan licked his lips, filled with joy. Ah, it is indeed the esteemed senior brother who has ensured your safety, and one cannot help but feel envious. Yet you need not worry. I have arranged for 10 disciples and 2 elders to stand guard here. Should you encounter any issues, they are at your service. However, little Yue has just been born and is not yet ready for cultivation. The sect leader has decreed that she will officially take on disciples when she reaches the age of 2. Bufan. All the resources of our sect are to be allocated to you 3. You must strive to excel, especially you, Bufan. You should understand the reason why senior brother Lin Yuan bestowed upon you the name Bufan. It is a hope that you shall indeed be extraordinary. Speaking of Lin Yuan, Jiang Qiong could not help but feel a twinge of nostalgia. It is clear that Jiang Qiong holds a genuine concern for him, which warms Lin Bufan's heart. Thank you, Aunt, he exclaimed. A sigh escaped Lin Bufan's lips, prompting Jiang Qiong to feel a pang of sympathy and embrace him warmly. The sudden affection rendered Lin Bufan momentarily speechless. Although Jiang Qiong was in her 50s, her skin and appearance belied her age. And having gone without a partner for so many years, this unexpected embrace left him feeling a profound sense of difference. Your father has departed. From now on, I shall be your dear aunt. Do not hesitate to confide in me. Here at Qingyun Sect, no one dares to bully you. I have just taken Su Yishue as my disciple, and henceforth, you too shall be under my guidance. She affectionately ruffled Lin Bufan's hair, embracing her role as an elder figure. Thank you, Aunt, Lin Bufan replied, quickly collecting his thoughts as he stepped away from her embrace. You all listen closely. Starting today, you will be stationed at Xiaoyun Peak, and you must treat them as family. I care not for your backgrounds, personalities, or cultivation levels. Lin Bufan is the lord of Xiaoyun Peak. When he reaches the Golden Core stage, or even the nascent soul stage, the sect leader will have no objections. We shall remember your contributions, understood? Yes, those chosen by Jiang Qiong were indeed trustworthy. Should they falter in any way, do not hesitate to bring it to my attention. I will advocate for you. Jiang Qiong, sitting by the bedside, held Su Yishue's hand as she spoke. This gesture moved Su Yishue to tears. Thank you, Aunt. I have never been treated with such affection in the Su family. Perhaps due to the sensitivity following childbirth, tears streamed down her cheeks. Foolish child. All will be well from now on. Jiang Qiong, fond of Su Yishue, gently wiped away her tears. Lin Bufan finally exhaled a sigh of relief. It seemed he had found a pillar of support. Glancing at the peacefully sleeping little Yue beside him, a smile graced his lips. My daughter, it is all thanks to you. Lin Bufan understood that all this was bestowed upon him by his father and the daughter of the innate Dao body. Nevertheless, it mattered little. He could cultivate now, and that was his greatest gain. Aunt, speaking of bullying, I just remembered something. Lin Bufan suddenly interjected. Oh, what is it? Jiang Qiong inquired. Aunt, you are aware that the people of Xiaoyun Peak have departed. However, a few days ago, someone entered my room and absconded with the array key from the storeroom of Xiaoyun Peak. The following day, I noticed signs of a fire outside the storeroom but saw no one around. Given that Yishue is pregnant, I refrained from investigating the matter further. I suspect it was someone from Xiaoyun Peak attempting to pilfer supplies. Lin Bufan recounted the events, blurring the lines between truth and deception. What? Is there more to this? Indeed, I found a Qingyun bag nearby, but I cannot open it, and have not mentioned it to Yishua. As he spoke, Lin Bufan produced Lu Hao's storage bag. He had deliberately left the storage bag intact when he disposed of the body, hoping for a day of vengeance. Gazing at the storage bag before her, Jiang Qiong furrowed her brow. After a moment's inspection, she forcefully erased the markings on the bag and extracted the identity jade token. Lu Hao? Upon seeing the name inscribed, Jiang Qiong's fury ignited. The aura emanating from it suggested that he was a 9th-layer qi refining cultivator. Humph, leave this matter to me. I shall handle it, Jiang Qiong declared with determination. Fortunately, Lu Hao had not harmed Lin Bufan and Su Yishua. Had he done so, the two of them would have stood no chance against him due to their meager cultivation levels. Aunt, Bufan has an ungrateful request. Noticing Jiang Qiong's anger, Lin Bufan immediately clasped his hands in reverence. Speak freely, Bufan. Whatever I can do, I shall assist you. Are you planning to pursue Lu Hao? Jiang Qiong inquired. No, Aunt. I cannot provoke such individuals right now. I merely wish to know if you possess any powerful treasures or artifacts that could safeguard Yishua and me. Our cultivation is low, and even a foundation establishment cultivator could easily eliminate us. Lin Bufan glanced at the two women beside him, both of whom were at the core formation stage, making it clear that they were even less capable of standing against formidable foes. Jiang Qiong paused for a moment before breaking into a smile. Fear not. Those who can come here are my trusted confidants. Regarding artifacts, I happen to possess a few. With that thought, she waved her right hand. In an instant, dozens of radiant treasures appeared in the air, each emanating a soft luminescence. Although Lin Bufan's cultivation was not high, he could still sense a distinct aura from them. Jiang Qiong scanned the treasures and selected 5 talismans. These are talismans I crafted in my spare time. With the infusion of a bit of true energy, they can activate the array within, allowing them to withstand attacks from cultivators below the nascent soul stage. Even against the first or second layers of the nascent soul, they can deflect some attacks. Take these. You and Su Yishua may find them useful. Jiang Qiong readily tossed the items to Lin Bufan. She then retrieved a sword. This sword, entirely red, is imbued with a hint of crimson light. Yishua, this is for you. It is a first-grade spiritual weapon and quite a fine sword. Having a good weapon will greatly benefit you. It contains an array that, when you infuse it with true energy, can conceal its aura and allow for summoning. I discovered it within a secret realm. Jiang Qiong did not pause there. She continued to produce several vials of ammunition. These are some elixirs that possess the ability to replenish true energy, invigorate blood circulation, and even awaken latent potential. While there are some among the supplies of Xiao Peak, they are not as potent as these. Feel free to take them. Furthermore, this is a manual of spells that you too, along with your little maid, can also cultivate. Jiang Qiong was not stingy, producing 7 or 8 items in the blink of an eye. It was at that moment that Lin Bufan suddenly spotted an extraordinary object, a broken sword, with merely a dilapidated hilt and a blade measuring a foot in length. Even the blade bore signs of fractures. Aunt, what is this? He inquired, pointing at the sword. This. Jiang Qiong was momentarily taken aback, recalling. This is something my senior brother Lin Yuan and I discovered during an expedition into a small secret realm. It is a broken sword. By the way, the fragments seem to be with your father. He should have given you the ring. Oh, Lin Bufan was taken aback. Such a thing exists? This indicated that his father had explored alongside Jiang Qiong. If you want it, you can have it. My father and I have researched it for quite some time without uncovering its secrets. It is not a valuable item, Jiang Qiong remarked, willing to part with it. All right. Take these items for now. They should suffice to protect your lives. Moreover, this is Qingyun Sect, and generally, no one would dare to cause trouble. After distributing some items, Jiang Qiong collected the rest. Thank you, Aunt. Thank you, Aunt. These treasures were indeed the collection of a Yuaning-level expert, making the 2 Jedon cultivators nearby envious. No need for such formality. Call your little maid over as well. I shall provide you with instruction. Do not hesitate to ask me any questions. Jiang Qiong's purpose in coming here was not only to deliver items, but also to arrange matters and offer guidance. Lin Bufan and the others were naturally eager to oblige. It was only when night fell that Jiang Qiong took her leave. The 2 Jedon elders, Han Yu and Gao Man, then settled into Xiao Peak. There were numerous rooms atop Xiao Peak, and Lin Bufan allowed them to choose freely. As for Lin Bufan's own residence, it was situated at the core of Xiao Peak. Given that his father, Lin Yuan, was the peak master, naturally requiring a place in the most central area, Han Yu and Gao Man, both disciples of Jiang Qiong, complemented each other well, one being vivacious and the other reserved. The other 10 disciples included 4 at the foundation establishment stage, with the rest at the Qi refinement stage. Each of the 10 took on their responsibilities and quickly commenced with the patrol and sanitation duties of Xiao Peak. Thus, Xiao Peak had gained a considerable number of inhabitants. After Jiang Qiong's departure, she promptly sought out Lu Cheng. After conveying the situation, Lu Chong immediately dispatched Luo Ping to investigate. Soon, information on Lu Hao surfaced. This Lu Hao had defected to Dayan Peak and had suddenly disappeared a few months prior, along with 2 disciples. One at the 8th level of Qi refinement and the other at the 7th level. Witnesses had seen them leave together. And investigations revealed that the 3 shared a close relationship, as reported by Luo Ping. Indeed, several months prior, Lin Bufan was merely an ordinary individual, while Su Yixue was already with child, boasting a cultivation level of the 9th layer of Qi refinement. Even with the presence of that maid, they could hardly contend with the trio of Lu Hao at the same cultivation level. It is truly surprising that Qingyun Sect harbors such disciples. No wonder Lin Bufan had previously denied others access to Xiaoyan Peak. Jiang Qiong listened to this information with a burgeoning anger, while Lu Chong furrowed his brow in concern. Luo Ping, you shall handle this matter. I must ascertain what Lu Hao has done and with whom he associates. Should there be any further individuals who harm the innocent, do not expect my leniency. Understood, master. I shall investigate this matter with utmost diligence, replied Luo Ping. By the way, Sect Master Senior Brother, there is something I must discuss with you. Jiang Qiong cast a glance at Luo Ping, who, understanding her intent, discreetly departed. What is it? Sect Master Senior Brother. Can spiritual roots be altered? Jiang Qiong's uncertainty crept into her voice as she inquired. Absolutely not. If such a transformation were possible, many would have ascended to superior spiritual roots by now. Sister, why do you ask? Lu Chong responded with a hint of confusion. Senior Brother, what spiritual roots do Su Yixue and Lin Bufan possess? Jiang Qiong pressed further. One possesses a low-grade spiritual root, while the other is a mere ordinary body. This is common knowledge. However, now Su Yixue has achieved a medium-grade spiritual root. Although it is the lowest tier, it is indeed a medium-grade root. While Lin Bufan has transitioned from an ordinary body to a low-grade spiritual root, also the lowest of the low. What did you just say? Chapter 20. The Shattered Small Sword. Throughout history, many have swiftly advanced in cultivation and combat prowess. Yet, never has there been a case where spiritual roots continuously improved. Unless one possesses some celestial root or spiritual herb, it is implausible to alter an individual's spiritual root. Such treasures could not possibly emerge in the desolate eastern fringes. Nor would they be easily acquired by Lin Bufan and Su Yixue. Lu Chong found himself perplexed. This could not possibly be a treasure obtained by Lin Yuan. Otherwise, he would have long facilitated Lin Bufan's cultivation, and his demise would have been averted. In truth, there is more to this. The notion that a Qi refinement practitioner in an ordinary body could produce an innate Dao body is inherently astonishing. Jiang Qiong too began to ponder. Lu Chong nodded thoughtfully, taking a few steps forward to gaze out at the clouds beyond the window. This matter must remain confidential. Do not disclose it to either of them. For the time being, I must trouble you, sister. Rest assured, Xiaoyan Peak is under my watch. Jiang Qiong, being astute and meticulous, undertook her responsibilities with care. Though Qingyun Sect is formidable, there exist other sects thousands of miles away. Not to mention the ancient sects in the core regions of the eastern continent, which render Qingyun Sect merely a marginal entity in the desolate eastern lands. The path to growth is fraught with challenges. Should an innate Dao body break through to the nascent soul stage and attain the transformation stage, Qingyun Sect would undoubtedly ascend as well. Not to dwell on Lu Chong's minor schemes. This night, Lin Bufan found himself restless. For the individuals dispatched by Jiang Qiong were not far away in the adjoining quarters. It does not disrupt their lives and serves to safeguard their security, which is rather commendable. Jiang Qiong has accepted Su Yixue as her disciple, thereby strengthening their bond significantly. Lin Bufan understands that these developments stem from the past affections between Lin Yuan and Jiang Qiong, as well as Lin Yui's influence. Relying on others may provide temporary protection, yet to ensure lasting safety, one must cultivate oneself. At the cliffside of the main hall, Lin Bufan, bearing the weight of pressure, traversed the waterfall curtain to discover a small cave. This space, though modest, spans over 100 square meters, with the ground adorned with flourishing flowers and grasses. At the far end, 2 graves stand, one ancient, that of Lin Bufan's mother, and the more recent one belonging to Lin Yuan. The cave is furnished with stone tables and chairs, along with a bed, and a barrier guards the entrance. This was a cherished spot for Lin Yuan and his wife. A tranquil retreat with flowing water and a view of the moon through the waterfall. In his childhood, Lin Yuan had brought him here, but after his mother's passing, he only visited on her death anniversary. Due to the barrier at the entrance, Lin Bufan had been unable to enter until now. Father, mother, I am ready to cultivate. He took some snacks and wine, filling a cup to place before the graves. Moreover, I have married and have a little princess. Lin Bufan spoke at length in this sacred space. In his previous life, he was an orphan, but in this life, he at least experienced 2 decades of paternal love. which has fostered some emotional connection. After sharing a modest drink with his parents, Lin Bufan settled by the flowing water, gazing up at the moon. He then retrieved Lin Yuan's storage ring. As the master had passed away, the spiritual energy within the array had nearly dissipated over time, enabling Lin Bufan to open it with ease. Inside, he discovered a considerable space filled with healing elixirs and various herbs, along with an assortment of magical artifacts. These could be considered Lin Yuan's legacy. Once he laid the items upon the ground, Lin Bufan noticed several letters and books among them. Curiosity piqued, he began to read, and soon found himself moved. The letters contained inquiries from Lin Yuan to friends regarding methods to alter spiritual roots or cultivate a mortal body. The books discussed various peculiar tales, notable figures, and techniques for modifying spiritual roots. Some herbs were entirely unfamiliar, sealed within formations, presumably to aid in changing one's constitution. To think my father was so concerned about me. Even Lin Yuan, having lived 2 lives, could not help but feel a warmth in his eyes. Here lay some commendable magical artifacts, precious herbs, and most notably, books on alchemy, alongside a fine alchemical cauldron. Glancing back at the 2 graves, Lin Bufan sighed. This system arrived too late. He could almost envision Lin Yuan's sunlit face, marked by a hint of weariness, smiling joyfully at him. If only it were possible to resurrect the dead, alas. Such a feat seems even more extraordinary than altering my spiritual roots or physique. After collecting his thoughts, Lin Bufan soon discovered a long sword tip. He retrieved the hilt and assembled the sword. Indeed, it was a complete weapon. Its appearance exuded an aura of sharpness. Not only Lin Bufan, but even the Yuaning powerhouses Jiang Xiong and Lin Yuan sensed its unusual presence. When this sword is whole, it must be truly exceptional. Unfortunately, it is but a broken blade. The material of this sword is unlike anything Lin Bufan has ever encountered, still retaining a hint of chill. If only he had the opportunity to learn the art of forging. If he could reconstruct it, that would be splendid. Aunt Jiang Xiong mentioned that she could not identify the metal and deduced that this sword was crafted by a master of the transformation stage, or even a fully realized cultivator. A complete version of this broken sword would undoubtedly be formidable. Jiang Xiong had attempted to refine it, yet after 3 days of effort, she had not succeeded in melting it, which speaks volumes. Furthermore, the alchemy furnace appears to be a treasure in itself. If only he could learn the art of alchemy. His unique cultivation method and body demanded immense energy. If he could refine his own elixirs, he would surely acquire more resources. Aspiring to become an alchemist is no simple endeavor. After organizing his findings, Lin Bufan produced a knife. This blade was half his height and as wide as his palm. It was Lin Yuan's treasured weapon, named the Thunderclap Blade. When wielded in battle alongside Lin Yuan's techniques, it unleashed thunderous sounds and a paralyzing effect, capable of contending with only 2 or 3 opponents within the Qingyun Sect. Alas, I chose the spear. Yet, perhaps I could find a suitable successor for this weapon among the younger generation. After tidying up, Lin Bufan once again settled into a meditative posture, surrounding himself with an ample supply of spirit stones and produced some elixirs. Today, he aimed to advance to the foundation establishment stage. Chapter 21. Merge this thunderbolt for me. Lin Bufan's thoughts were indeed sound. Securing the foundation establishment first was paramount. A mere mortal with a wasted body had spent 20 years, yet here he was on the brink of foundation establishment in just 10 months. He felt quite pleased with his progress. With a plethora of spirit stones amassed around him and a few foundation establishment pills consumed, Lin Bufan's true energy surged rapidly, relentlessly impacting his meridians and 3 energy seas. Within Lin Bufan's dantian, the spirals of spiritual energy whirled frantically. And with the efficacy of the foundation establishment pills and surrounding spirit stones, a faint purple glow flickered within his being. His chi transformation technique was operating at full capacity, gradually unleashing streams of purple light that illuminated the small cloud peak. However, this light was dim, shrouded by the night. Little did they know, it was all the result of Lin Bufan invoking the forces of heaven and earth. 1/10 of an innate Dao body is still an innate Dao body. With the purple energy flooding his system, a gentle radiance also emerged from the sleeping Lin Yue, as if responding to Lin Bufan from afar. Finally, as Lin Bufan's true energy seemed to boil within him, the energy vortex transformed into a flowing stream, emanating a powerful aura from his very being. Lin Bufan opened his eyes, and with a flick of his right hand, an endless supply of spirit stones materialized once more. Foundation Establishment Stage 1. Foundation Establishment Stage 2. Foundation Establishment Stage 3. In the blink of an eye, Lin Bufan ascended to Foundation Establishment Stage 6. The spirit stones around him were reduced to ashes, carried away by the cascading waterfall, vanishing from sight. Foundation Establishment Stage 6. A glimmer of brilliance sparkled in Lin Bufan's eyes as he clenched his fist. In an instant, cracking sounds emanated from his hand, and that was not the end. A whirlwind formed around Lin Bufan's body, instantly filling his mind and consciousness with a soft glow. The innate Dao body is indeed formidable. Breaking through minor realms encounters no obstacles whatsoever. However, the consumption of spirit stones is quite taxing. Glancing at his storage ring, Lin Bufan noted that 2/3 of the spirit stones allocated for cultivating at Xiao Peak had been depleted. He lamented the strain of cultivation. These spirit stones could sustain a mountain peak for a year's worth of resources. Perhaps it is best to reserve some for Su Yixue and Xiao. I need their cultivation levels to rise as well. After adjusting his attire, Lin Bufan promptly returned. In just over 3 months, the sect master had visited twice, leaving a protective golden talisman after inspecting Xiao before departing. Lin Bufan's cultivation had finally reached Foundation Establishment Stage 8 after expending a considerable amount of spirit stones. This level of cultivation is already quite high. Achieving Foundation Establishment by the age of 20 is regarded as a genius. Su Yixue's progress has been somewhat slow, only reaching Foundation Establishment Stage 2. Conversely, Xiao made remarkable strides, having finally reached Qi Refinement Stage 9 due to Lin Bufan's abundant spirit stones and elixirs. It has been a year since Su Yixue arrived. During this time, she has become quite familiar with Xiao Peak. Since Lin Bufan was unable to cultivate, he rarely ventured away from Xiao Peak, and he had informed others about his cultivation endeavors rather late. Throughout this year, Lin Bufan dedicated himself to advancing his cultivation without wandering aimlessly, while Su Yixue gradually acclimated to Qingyun Sect. Many disciples of Qingyun Sect have shown kindness towards Su Yixue. The courage to exchange one's own well-being for the safety of their family is commendable. Due to Xiaoyui's birth, Su Yixue could not leave for extended periods. After all, the child is still young, and straying too far could lead to unforeseen circumstances. Although Jiang Qiong dispatched several female disciples to assist, they were primarily responsible for defending Xiao Peak, and it would be inappropriate to ask them to care for the child daily. Fortunately, Su Yixue is not of an overly lively disposition. At home, she is the young lady of the Su family, rarely stepping outside, which does not significantly affect matters. However, Lin Bufan found himself troubled. Su Yixue expressed a desire to have another child, yet a considerable amount of time had passed with no sign of a second child. In truth, Lin Bufan is currently reluctant to pursue this, primarily because he has yet to discover any formidable treasures. Last time, Lin Bufan utilized the Tao Te Ching. This time, he certainly cannot resort to the Great Compassion Mantra again, can he? Reflecting on the birth of his child, who sat cross-legged with closed eyes and a halo of merit behind him, immediately addressing him as benefactor, Lin Bufan found himself rather overwhelmed. The mere thought sent shivers down his spine. Thus, he had been postponing the matter, adhering to the principle of quality over quantity. Lin Bufan sought out several senior sisters on Xiao Peak to glean some information. Unfortunately, these disciples did not possess particularly high cultivation levels. Although they had ventured out on missions and undergone training, discovering any extraordinary treasures was indeed a daunting task. Consequently, Lin Bufan found himself in a state of distress in the following days. Atop the mountain, in a cave by the waterfall, where the cascading water transformed into a celestial river, he sat in contemplation, the farthest corner of the cave housing an ancestral tomb. Father, oh father, you were once a Yuan cultivator, the most esteemed in the Qingyun Sect. Could you not have left your son some valuable relics? Perhaps an elixir of immortality or celestial fire, enabling me to merge with them and ascend to the heavens in one grand leap? Yet, you chose to depart without leaving a thing behind. Your son is now incapable of even granting you a grandchild. The frustration is unbearable. Without a grandchild of exceptional constitution, how can your son elevate his status through his offspring? Others who traverse worlds possess extraordinary treasures for protection, at the very least. A ring from a venerable ancestor or a mysterious tower with a time dilation 1,000 times greater. Or perhaps they are themselves celestial emperors. Yet here I am, alas. What a wretched fate. As Lin Bufan roasted skewers over the flames of his true energy, he lamented to the ancestral tomb. However, how could a mere tomb respond? It was merely a venting of his grievances. In this world, the only solace he found was in lamenting to his father and indulging in delectable food. Oh father, why not send me a dream to reveal if you have any powerful lovers still lingering? Let them prepare some treasures for me. Suddenly, an idea sparked in Lin Bufan's mind, and he spoke eagerly towards the tomb. Crack! Just as Lin Bufan was immersed in his fantasies, a thunderclap resonated from the sky. Goodness, you startled me, he exclaimed, instinctively retreating further into the cave. Even a Foundation Establishment cultivator feared the wrath of heavenly thunder. It embodied divine might. A misstep could lead to dire consequences. Yet, amidst the flickering brilliance, Lin Bufan's eyes brightened. Father, is this your hint to me? If the system can merge with the Tao Te Ching, can it not also with this heavenly thunder? By heavens! The more he pondered, the more exhilarated he became. All right, I have made my decision. Let my next offspring merge with this heavenly thunder. Chapter 22. Yet another omen a month later. At the cliffside, a woman leisurely brewed tea within a pavilion. Meanwhile, a man was directing the movements of a woman clad in red, wielding a wooden stick, occasionally issuing commands. Raise your hand a little higher. The gesture is incorrect. Why is there no strength in your hands? You must not lean forward. How can you exert force if you do? Maintain your balance. Lin Bufan tirelessly offered his guidance. But, young master, this is quite exhausting. Xiao Ruer protested, her voice tinged with palpable distress. With more practice, you'll soon acclimate. This is genuine knowledge. Indeed, Lin Bufan was imparting his expertise in marksmanship to Xiao Ruer. Clad in a striking red form-fitting outfit, she looked exceptionally charming, wielding a gleaming silver spear with impressive flair. However, a few aspects were amiss, requiring Lin Bufan's patient instruction. Oh, Xiao Ruer is obedient. She does whatever the young master instructs. If he says it 500 times, then so be it. Must it truly be so many? If I have to practice 500 times daily, I might just collapse. Come, have a sip of water. Su Ishua interjected coolly from the side. Hee. My sister still cares for me. Upon hearing Su Ishua's voice, Xiao Ruer scampered over eagerly. She understood that on this Xiaoyan peak, Su Ishua's words held more weight than Lin Bufan's. Since Su Ishua's marriage, she had gained a family member, and their bond was excellent, referring to each other as sisters. Hey, you little crybaby, are you disobeying? Lin Bufan called from the pavilion, still waiting for her to continue. Oh, young master, you are the best. Xiao Ruer quickly approached, clinging to Lin Bufan's arm in a display of affection. This tactic had proven successful time and again. Ah, there you all are. It made it easy for me to find you. At that moment, a voice emerged from behind. It was Jiang Qiong. Andy, you're here. The three hastily offered her a seat, leaving Xiao Ruer to stand aside, aware of her differing status and the need for propriety. I came to see how you all were doing. Lin Yue, nestled in Su Ishua's embrace, gurgled excitedly upon spotting Jiang Qiong, stretching her arms towards her. Oh, let me hold her, Jiang Qiong exclaimed, delighted to embrace her, having ascended to the role of grandmother, even without a partner. As everyone cooed over little Yue, Su Ishua suddenly furrowed her brow, a wave of nausea washing over her as she hastily covered her mouth with her hand. What's wrong? Jiang Qiong asked, taken aback as she turned to Su Ishua. I'm fine, husband. I just crave something sweet to settle my stomach. I feel a bit nauseous. Su Ishua admitted, unable to suppress her discomfort. Nauseous? Jiang Qiong's eyes brightened, seizing Su Ishua's arm. Could it be? Ishua, is it true? Upon sensing Su Ishua's condition with her energy, Jiang Qiong exclaimed in surprise. I don't know. Su Ishua was startled, glancing sharply at Lin Bufan. Her expression filled with reproach. Hey, this isn't my fault. Lin Bufan retorted, only to be met with Su Ishua's quick rebuttal. Such words elicited an involuntary eye roll from Jiang Qiong, who could not help but wonder if this young couple could ever consider the feelings of others, especially since she herself had yet to find a companion. She cast a glance at Lin Bufan, contemplating whether it might be time for her to seek a partner. Observing Bufan's child had stirred thoughts within her about having one of her own. Calmness. It was imperative to maintain composure. Ahem, Auntie is present, so please refrain from speaking carelessly. Lin Bufan, noticing Jiang Qiong's discomfort, hastily redirected the conversation. You troublemaker, aren't you the one leading him astray? Su Ishua shot Lin Bufan an exasperated look, recalling the lessons imparted by him. Jiang Qiong observed the two, uncertain if it was appropriate to interject. She hesitated several times before finally managing to utter a few words. You young ones. However, with Ishua expecting again, it is essential for her to rest properly. Lin Bufan felt a tinge of awkwardness, considering she was, after all, an elder. Ishua, as you are now with child, take care of your health. And you, young man, do not overexert yourself. Previously, you had a child with a congenital Dao body. I wonder what this one will be like. If it possesses a formidable constitution, that would be truly splendid. Jiang Qiong gazed at Su Ishua's belly, her eyes shimmering as if it were not merely a womb, but rather a treasure of unparalleled value. Master, what are you saying? Such fortuitous occurrences are exceedingly rare. A congenital Dao body is 1 in a million. Should we be blessed with another? It would indeed be a marvel beyond belief. Su Ishua shook her head, gently caressing her belly. 1 congenital Dao body is already sufficient. Meanwhile, Lin Bufan simply smiled. Choosing silence, This naive girl had no inkling of his capabilities. In truth, he too eagerly awaited the arrival of his child. After offering further guidance to Su Yixue and Xiao Ruer, Jiang Qiong prepared to depart. Before leaving, she reminded her two disciples to safeguard Xiao Yunfeng diligently, especially Su Yixue and Lin Bufan, and shared the news of Su Yixue's pregnancy with them. This revelation rendered Han Yu and Gao Man somewhat awkward. What is the matter? Jiang Qiong inquired upon noticing their expressions. And no, we will surely protect Xiao Yunfeng. The two, being girls, felt hesitant to elaborate. Speak. Jiang Qiong's authority as the head of the peak was evident, far removed from the perception of Lin Bufan and Su Yixue. The two immediately panicked. And master, truly. There's nothing amiss. It's just. We had already suspected Su Yixue's pregnancy. It was only a matter of time. Gao Man whispered, while Han Yu chose to remain silent. Jiang Qiong expressed her confusion. Well, Gao Man leaned closer to Jiang Qiong and whispered in her ear. For a moment, Jiang Qiong was at a loss, then sighed. No wonder. Well, I must take my leave now. You may attend to your affairs. Understood. Jiang Qiong departed swiftly, while Han Yu and Gao Man exchanged glances at the mountain, unable to suppress their shaking heads. Lin Bufan was unaware that such matters were occurring. After the two departed, he assumed they preferred solitude. Regardless, Xiaoyan Peak was vast, and they had the freedom to relocate as they pleased. Chapter 23. Lin Bufan prepares to descend the mountain as days passed. Su Yixue's belly grew increasingly prominent. Husband, you should take a concubine. Su Yixue broached the subject once more on this particular day. Over the past few days, she had contemplated much. Lin Bufan treated her well. And being the sole heir of the Lin family, it might be better for him to find a younger companion. Do not speak foolishly. I have yet to descend the mountain. How could I take a concubine? Lin Bufan replied, wrapping his arms around Su Yixue with a smile. What if I speak to my master about betrothing senior sister Han Yu and senior sister Gao Man to you? Su Yixue's eyes brightened at this suggestion. Han Yu? Gao Man. Lin Bufan was taken aback. Had this woman lost her senses? Truthfully, both Han Yu and Gao Man had attained the golden core level, boasting formidable strength. Should they discover any intentions towards them, it would surely spell disaster for Lin Bufan. Enough. How could you possibly consider pushing your husband towards others? This woman was indeed peculiar. Then how about Xiao Roro? Su Yixue mentioned Xiao Roro again. She is my maid. Be silent. Next, Lin Bufan found himself in a quandary. His Yin-Yang Dao scripture could no longer be cultivated, and his resources were dwindling. His cultivation had plateaued at the 9th layer of foundation establishment. While the 9th layer was already a considerable achievement, Lin Bufan was far from satisfied. It was insufficient. His late start in this realm of cultivation meant that foundation establishment represented merely the 2nd stage. Even at the pinnacle of the 9th layer, it was hardly impressive. I require abundant resources. There are still 8 months until the next distribution of sect supplies. How am I to endure these 8 months? There seems to be no feasible way. The following morning, Lin Bufan informed Su Yixue and then sought out the External Affairs Pavilion. The pavilion housed a grand hall, primarily responsible for the issuance of various tasks. Though he had heard of it before, he had never visited, as a mere mortal could hardly undertake the tasks within. Inside the hall, countless boards displayed available tasks, delivering messages, treasure hunting, procurement. Amidst a cacophony of voices, the atmosphere was bustling with activity. Lin Bufan? Is that not Lin Bufan? His presence stirred quite a commotion. After all, Lin Bufan was a well-known figure. As whispers filled the air, Lin Bufan chose to ignore them. These individuals had either reached the Qi condensation or foundation establishment stages. He was unfamiliar with them and proceeded directly to the innermost counter. Greetings, senior sister. Lin Bufan addressed a beautiful woman behind the counter. Lin Bufan? What brings you here? Oh, just call me Wang Fong. Wang Fong remarked, surveying Lin Bufan from head to toe. I must admit, you are rather handsome, though regrettably, you are but a mortal. Oh, I see. I am descending the mountain to register. Lin Bufan, without further ado, placed his token on the table. In the Qingyun Sect, it is mandatory to register whether one is departing or returning, and all outgoing missions must also be recorded. Thus, it was convenient to combine the registration and task distribution offices. You are going down the mountain? Wang Fong was taken aback, but nodded to assist with the record. She found it rather curious why Lin Bufan, a mere mortal, would return. Was he not afraid of the dangers that lay ahead? Meanwhile, at Dian Peak, Lu Zhongming knelt on the ground as Yang Sheng stood with his back turned. I do not care what Lu Hao has done. I implore you to recognize your own identity. You are henceforth prohibited from causing trouble at Xiaoyan Peak, and you shall not send anyone there. If I discover otherwise, I will not hesitate to incapacitate you. Yang Sheng's voice carried a chilling tone. Master, this matter has nothing to do with me. It was primarily Lu Hao who instigated it. Lu Zongming, stripped of his previous arrogance, hastily offered explanations. Leave. Lin Bufan from Xiaoyan Peak is not someone you can provoke. Yang Sheng did not even glance at Lu Zongming as he spoke. Master, with so many people arriving at Xiaoyan Peak, our resources. Slap. Before Lu Zongming could finish, a fierce gust of wind sent him flying, blood spilling from his lips as he collapsed to the ground. Terror etched across his face as he gazed at Yang Sheng. This was the first time he had been struck by his master since joining the sect. Why? Lu Zongming was still grappling with the situation. Hadn't Yang Sheng previously asserted that he was the most promising disciple likely to achieve the golden core stage before the age of 30? Yet, get lost. If you dare to act recklessly again, I will kill you first. Lu Zongming realized that his master was genuinely furious, hastily rising to pay his respects before retreating. Humph. Heedless of your own demise. Yang Sheng had never exhibited such rage, triggered by the sect leader's earlier warning of someone provoking Lin Bufan. What kind of place was Xiaoyan Peak? It was the domain of the innate Dao body. Although Yang Sheng and the others relished competition, they were acutely aware of the significance of the innate Dao body, as it would dictate their futures. This foolish disciple truly lacked awareness. If something were to happen to Lin Yue, he might not even retain his position as the peak master of Qingyun Peak. He could not fathom how Lin Bufan had stumbled upon such fortune to possess an innate Dao body. Yang Sheng too desired such a disciple. With a formidable apprentice by his side, wouldn't he stride confidently within Qingyun Peak? With careful nurturing, could such a disciple not surpass these inept ones? Perhaps. He might even revive the glory of the Qingyun Sect. Alas, it was a pity. A pity that Lin Yue had already been taken as a disciple by the sect leader. A truly rare existence. Damn it. A mere mortal, fatherless wretch. What makes him untouchable? It is clearly due to connections. Upon returning to his quarters, Lu Zongming's eyes glinted with malice. The entire room was thrown into disarray by his fury. Senior brother, what is the meaning of this? As Han Gu arrived just in time to witness the scene, he couldn't help but feel a chill run down his spine. Who could provoke such a fierce temper in the senior brother? Lin Bufan. I shall eventually make him pay. Lu Zongming seethed, his teeth clenched in rage. Han Gu was taken aback. Senior brother, what has Lin Bufan done? Humph. It's that worthless Lu Hao again, who dared to disturb my master. Lu Zongming still felt a lingering discomfort in his heart. This favoritism was far too blatant. The peak leader actually favored Lin Bufan? Han Gu was also stunned. Perhaps it is because of Lin Yuan. With a swift glance, Han Gu approached Lin Bufan. Senior brother, do you wish to teach Lin Bufan a lesson? Lu Zongming frowned at Han Gu. Are you trying to get me killed? He has just been reprimanded. No. I was planning to descend the mountain. To the Foreign Affairs Department, and guess what? Lin Bufan is also going down. Han Gu glanced around the room and lowered his voice as he spoke. Chapter 24. Descending the mountain to seek family. What did you say? Lu Zongming's eyes brightened as he turned to Han Gu. Senior brother, Lin Bufan is also going down. I witnessed it with my own eyes. This is a splendid opportunity for revenge. Han Gu said with a grin. Going down? What is he going down for? Lu Zongming was momentarily perplexed. To accompany his wife back to the Su family. Han Gu had leaned in close to listen when he saw Lin Bufan. Back to the Su family? Lu Zongming narrowed his eyes. The Su family is one of the prominent families in Qingkong City, but they suffered severe setbacks last year. Su Yixue is from the Su family, the second daughter of the head of the family. After a year, it is only natural for her to return and check on things. This is indeed a fine opportunity. Senior brother, if Lin Bufan were to perish, then the division of Little Yun Peak would be much more plausible. Han Ji's eyes darted as he spoke halfway. Without Lin Bufan, it would be quite reasonable to claim a share of Little Yun Peak. However, his master forbade any provocation against Lin Bufan. That was the most uncertain aspect for Lu Zongming. If the man were gone, it would be of little consequence. After all, he was merely a mortal. Senior brother, you are the esteemed elder of the younger generation, and moreover, your brother is the direct disciple of the peak leader. The respect that Han Gu and others showed Lu Zongming stemmed not only from his affiliation with the Lu family of South City, but also from his brother, Lu Zonghao, who was one of Yang Sheng's direct disciples. Each peak leader of Qingyun Sect was a nascent soul, with disciples categorized into direct disciples, who were likely to inherit the mantle, core disciples, inner disciples, outer disciples, and registered disciples. Only direct disciples receive personal instruction from the peak leader, holding an extraordinary status. Lu Zongming's brother, Lu Zonghao, was one of Yang Sheng's 2 direct disciples, having reached the 8th layer of the Golden Core stage, and ranked among the top within the 6 peaks of Qingyun Sect. How many disciples from Little Yun Peak have you gathered so far? Lu Zongming suddenly inquired. Over 300. Han Gu pondered before responding. This time, I shall meet the illustrious Lin Bufan. Lu Zongming, chastised by his master, was unable to bear the weight of humiliation. He was determined to ruin Lin Bufan with his own hands. Why must his master scold him for the sake of a mere mortal? This was the first time he had ever been reprimanded. Elder brother, I shall make arrangements at once. Han Gu promptly departed, recognizing the necessity of enlisting capable individuals. Irish Shui, I have already notified the Foreign Affairs Office. We are ready to set forth. Xiao, please look after Xiao Yu at home. Sisters, I shall leave Xiao Yunfeng in your capable hands. On the following day, Lin Bufan bid farewell early. Understood, young master. Bufan, we have informed our master of your departure. To the east of Qingyun City lies the residence of the Qingyun Sect. Should any issues arise, you may go there. I have already alerted our junior sister in Qingyun City, Han Yu remarked. Junior sister? Lin Bufan was taken aback, as he was not well acquainted with those from Duanyue Peak. Indeed, she is Master S' direct disciple, Ji Jinwei, who happens to be responsible for the safety of Qingyun City during this period. Disciples of the Qingyun Sect take turns stationed in several surrounding cities. This is a sect duty, vital for accruing sect points. After all, a vast sect and territory require guardians to ensure the development of Qingyun Sect. Thank you, sister. Lin Bufan accepted a jade slip, a genuine token of trust. Yes, do return swiftly from the Su family. Han Yu advised. Thank you for your concern, sister. Lin Bufan responded, departing with Su Yixue. Once they had left for a considerable time, Han Yu finally exhaled. Now I can enjoy a good night's sleep. This elicited a playful tongue poke from Xiao, who understood the underlying meaning of Han Yu's words. During this time, Su Yixue felt a deep longing for her family. Over the past year, she had missed her mother dearly. It was only after giving birth that she truly understood the hardships her mother endured. Now pregnant again, the thought of not seeing her mother for 2 years until the second child was born weighed heavily on her heart. Though the Su family had sent congratulatory gifts at her wedding, her parents had not attended. The few letters exchanged over the past year expressed the profound yearning between mother and daughter. Fortunately, the Su family resided at the foot of the mountain in Qingyun City, and based on their pace, they would arrive shortly. Su Yixue felt a surge of excitement. She was now at the foundation establishment stage, while Lin Bufan remained at the first layer of qi refinement. Despite Lin Bufan's stagnant cultivation, Su Yixue held no disdain. She felt immensely satisfied that he could cultivate it all, allowing them to share more years together. Once her cultivation improved, she would seek out various rare herbs and treasures for Lin Bufan. Moreover, their daughter was a congenital Dao body. As Su Yixue expressed her feelings for Lin Bufan, he felt a deep sense of comfort. It seemed to imply that even as a mere mortal, he could still be cherished. For a fleeting moment, he almost revealed the truth to Su Yixue. Irish Shui, there's no need to moderate your speed. You are most aware of your husband's condition. Lin Bufan chuckled. To reach Qingyun City at the foot of the mountain would take half a day, even for mortals. Accompanied by Su Yixue, the journey is never dull. However, Lin Bufan is also curious about the cities below. Descending the mountain early means progressing sooner. At the Su residence, dozens of individuals congregate in the grand hall. Leading them is Su Ming, the patriarch of the Su family. Today, Yixue is returning, along with the offspring of Lin Yuansheng, a fact you must remember. Without this marriage, our Su family would likely have perished long ago. Su Ming, adorned with a youthful beard and resplendent attire, exudes an air of shrewdness. Indeed, besides Su Ming, the family comprises 2 brothers, Su Hong and Su Yu, seated at the upper table. Those present are all influential figures within the Su family. Eldest brother, I hear that Lin Bufan is merely a commoner. It seems unfair to Yixue. Su Yu interjected at an inopportune moment. Third brother, regardless of his status, he is still my Su family's son-in-law. It is precisely for this reason that Qingyun Sect is willing to assist us. Such esteemed sects seldom aid families like ours. Yet this is due to the previous connections our father had with Lin Yuansheng. Su Ming admonished his younger brother. This third brother, now over 30, remains unmarried, indulged by their parents, which has fostered some undesirable habits. Third brother, you are no longer young. It is time to establish a household. Only with a wife and children can you attain stability, Su Ming remarked once more. Eldest brother, I can handle this matter myself, but I must confess, I have taken a liking to someone, Su Yu declared. Oh, who is it? All eyes turned to him, intrigued by this unexpected revelation. A woman from Qingyun Sect, named Ji Jinwei. Chapter 25. Do you think I desire my daughter to marry a commoner? In an instant, the table before Su Ming shattered, and Su Yu was sent flying several meters away. Patriarch. The crowd gasped, rising in alarm. Su Yu stared in horror at his elder brother. You fool. Do you dare provoke someone from Qingyun Sect? Are you seeking death? If you wish to die, do not drag the Su family down with you. Su Ming seethed. The others looked at Su Yu, rendered speechless. Su Ming's authority as the family head remained intact. Last year's crisis was resolved by Qingyun Sect. And now his third brother chooses to admire one of their disciples? Su Heng could no longer remain silent. Eldest brother, temper your anger. As the saying goes, a graceful lady is a gentleman's ideal match. It may not be a bad thing that the third brother is fond of someone from Qingyun Sect. Why such a strong reaction? Su Ming snorted in disdain. Humph, what do you know of the third brother's character? He spends his days in indulgence, reveling in excess. Is it affection he feels, or merely an attraction to beauty? If he offends someone from Qingyun Sect, can he bear the consequences? Do you know who Ji Jinwei is? She is one of the direct disciples of the Qingyun Sect's Duanyue Peak Master. Su Ming was furious. It wasn't that he forbade his brother from having feelings, but rather that this sibling was fickle and prone to causing trouble. Su Yu, equally incensed, felt trapped by his elder brother's authority as the family head and could not retaliate. Su Heng fell into silence, unaware of Ji Jinyue's true identity, mistaking her for an ordinary disciple. Su Ming, you always believe you are right. Your daughter can marry someone from Qingyun Sect. Why may I not take a woman from Qingyun Sect as my wife? Have you forgotten the turmoil you brought upon our Su family last year by flirting with members of the Hu family? Su Ming's voice was laced with fury. This statement made Su Yu grit his teeth in resentment. Fine, I shall leave, Su Yu declared, rising from the ground and turning to depart. Su Yu. Su Ming called after him, but to no avail. At the mention of last year's events, a heavy silence enveloped the room, with no one daring to utter a word. Leave now. My daughter and son-in-law will be arriving today, so mind your words. If you offend Qingyun Sect, our family is not equipped to bear the consequences. Leading the Su family was no easy task. It dictated their fate, the culmination of generations of effort. Understood. Soon, everyone departed, leaving Su Ming alone in the hall, sighing. A woman approached him. It was his wife. Do you think I am pleased to marry my daughter to a mere mortal? If it were not for the Su family. No father loves his child less, but sometimes harsh decisions must be made. She will understand. The woman, dignified in demeanor, poured him a cup of tea. Do not let anger take a toll on your health. Curse them. They are truly infuriating. Back in his residence, Su Yu could not help but vent his frustration by throwing things about. It seems Lord Su-san is quite upset. At that moment, a man clad in black and masked appeared behind him, speaking coolly. Humph, this has nothing to do with your black shaman, does it? The black shaman, a powerful sect on the fringes of the eastern wasteland, stood alongside Qingyun Sect in the Hundred Flowers Valley. Their members were known for their ruthless nature and numerous heinous deeds. It is unrelated, yet has Lord Su-san forgotten how close the Su family came to annihilation before? The man in black chuckled. Was it you? You. Oh, do not be hasty, Su Yu. After all, you are the brother of the head of the Su family. Do you not aspire to lead? The black-clad man spoke again. What do you mean? With the mention of the Su family, Su Yu felt a sense of impending danger. He had nearly caused the family's downfall previously. Now, even the mere mention of the Su family filled him with dread. It was not just fear of Su Ming's reprimands. He understood that as long as the Su family thrived, he could indulge in a life of excess. Should the Su family fall, everything he possessed would come to an end. What do you mean? You are a clever man, are you not? The Hu family has decided to align with my black shaman. I require a stance from your Su family. If it were not for the sudden intervention of Qingyun Sect, your Su family would likely have perished already. The man in black smiled. This is the territory of Qingyun Sect. Su Yu was taken aback. The audacity of the black shaman was astounding, for Qingkong City lay at the foot of Qingyun Sect's mountains. What of it? In this vast realm, we are merely a remote corner of the eastern wilderness. How can we develop if we remain divided among three sects? Only through unification can we secure a place in the eastern wilderness, can we not? The words of the man in black were astonishing, causing beads of sweat to trickle down Su Yu's forehead. He found himself filled with regret. Previously, upon learning that the other party belonged to the Black Sha sect, he had felt elated, believing he had made a friend, but now it seemed this was all part of a well-laid plan. No wonder the Hu family had suddenly acquired so many experts. This meant that many members of the Black Sha sect were now within Qingkong City. And the Hu family too? Yet, it appeared that the Qingyun Sect had shown no signs of awareness, failing to detect any anomalies. After all, the presence of additional cultivators in the city would not raise suspicion as long as they did not cause trouble. However, it seemed that beneath the calm surface of Qingkong City, currents of unrest were stirring. Su Yu, I am unafraid to disclose that I am a dark protector of the Mo Sha sect, and my purpose is to seize Qingkong City. Should you refuse, I shall seek out your elder brother, for there are many willing to collaborate with us. It is regrettable that your family head chose to ally through marriage with the Qingyun Sect to resolve the crisis. I had intended to leave him a path to survival. The weight of this information overwhelmed Su Yu, leaving him feeling somewhat dazed. I have heard that the third elder has taken a liking to Ji Jinwei of the Qingyun Sect. What if I could provide you with an opportunity to win her over? In that moment of mental blankness, the man in black suddenly spoke. Su Yu's eyes brightened at the thought of the ethereal woman in white. Yet, he quickly regained his composure. She is a direct disciple of the Duanyue peak of the Qingyun Sect. This is their territory, and I would be risking my life. What if we were to leave Qingkong City? For instance, a small secret realm appears 1,000 miles away, accessible only to those at the foundation establishment stage. Sometimes, one need not possess a flower entirely, but merely seize the moment when it blooms. Would you not agree? A glimmer of dark light flickered in the eyes of the man in black. In that instant, desire consumed Su Yu's mind. If it were possible to attain her, I would give half my life for that. Noticing Su Yu's infatuated demeanor, the man in black revealed a smirk of derision. Chapter 26. How could a mere mortal from this realm be worthy of my sister? This is Qingkong City. At this moment, Lin Bufan stood at the city gates, his eyes glimmering with a hint of light. The city itself was vast, enveloped by towering walls. In this world, it seemed that only those sheltered within the walls could feel a semblance of safety. This was intentional. By securing the 4 main gates, anyone entering or leaving would be subject to scrutiny. Currently, the responsibility of city defense lay with the Qingyun Sect. Indeed, I have grown up here. Previously, there were no guards, but now it appears that the Qingyun Sect is overseeing the defenses. Observing the 4 cultivators at the entrance, Su Yixue finally felt a sense of relief. The members of the Qingyun Sect hold sway over the sect, leveraging their marital alliances to ensure that any happenings within the Su family reach their ears without delay. It appears that the Qingyun Sect has consistently adhered to this arrangement. Let us proceed inside and take a look. This marks my first descent from the mountain. Upon their return, Lin Bufan and Su Yixue, having presented the Qingyun Sect token, faced no obstructions. As they entered the bustling city, the cacophony of vendors hawking various wares enveloped them. Qingkong City stands as one of the largest cities within 1,000 miles, nestled at the foot of the Qingyun Sect, offering safety from beastly incursions and rogue cultivators, thus maintaining a semblance of stability with a populace exceeding 3 million. 3 million? In this vast world, with numerous cities sprawling across the landscape, a city boasting 3 million souls is indeed considered grand. As the two traversed the streets, Su Yixue provided Lin Bufan with insights about their surroundings. Among the throngs, half were ordinary folk, while the other half were cultivators. Their harmonious coexistence within a single city is indeed remarkable. Whether in shops or stalls, one could find an array of goods, from mundane provisions to elixirs and magical artifacts, overwhelming the senses. It was at a stall selling hairpins that Lin Bufan paused, captivated by a gold hairpin adorned with a blue gemstone. He purchased it without hesitation and delicately placed it in Su Yixue's hair, much to her delight. This gesture marked the first gift Lin Bufan had bestowed upon her. Clear the way, get out of my way. Suddenly, a harsh voice echoed from afar, followed by the sight of a group of imposing steeds charging forth. Some cultivators managed to react swiftly, but several pedestrians were knocked aside, and a few stalls were overturned. Move aside. You're delaying my business. I will have you all killed. The leader, clad in armor and wielding a whip, flung an elderly man several meters away. The pedestrians, though seething with anger, dared not voice their outrage, opting instead to grit their teeth and evade. Su Yixue's expression shifted dramatically, her eyes sharpening with resolve. Just as a horse was about to collide with a child holding a candied hawthorn, Lin Bufan darted forward, snatching the little girl to safety. Humph! The leader let out a cold grunt, retracting his whip, yet his gaze fixed on Lin Bufan, a smirk of derision playing on his lips. It was Hu Jia's people. The leader was Hu Zhong, a servant of the Hu family, followed closely by Hu Shuo, a young master of the Hu family, who possessed a cultivation level of the 6th stage of foundation establishment. Su Yixue grasped Lin Bufan's arm, fearful of his impulsiveness. The Hu family was not one they could afford to provoke at this moment. The Hu family? Aren't your Su family and the Hu family of equal standing? Lin Bufan inquired, perplexed. Alas, the Su family cannot compete with the Hu family now. A year ago, some formidable experts arrived at Hu family, their origins shrouded in mystery. It seems the Hu family is preparing to leave the city. At that moment, the departing members of the Hu family abruptly halted, and a rider on a white warhorse turned back towards Lin Bufan and Su Yixue. Upon catching sight of the newcomer, Su Yixue's expression shifted once more. Hee. Is that not the second young lady of the Su family, Su Yixue? It has been over a year since we last met. I heard you married a second-generation mortal from the Qingyun Sect? The individual's gaze then shifted to Lin Bufan. This person must be the only mortal of the Qingyun Sect. Lin Bufan, right? Huo, silence yourself. It would be wise not to provoke us. I am now a disciple of the Mooncut Peak, and my people from the Qingyun Sect are stationed in the city. Su Yixue promptly shielded Lin Bufan behind her. Yixue, what are you saying? I merely passed by to greet you. Your judgment remains as poor as ever. If you had married me last year, our families would have been as close as one. Hua Shuo continued, indifferent to the onlookers. His gaze lingered on Su Yixue without restraint, only to be obstructed by Lin Bufan. So it is Hua Shuo? Su Yixue is now my wife. Should you gaze upon her in such a manner again, I would not hesitate to gouge out your eyes. Lin Bufan dismissed the 6th level of foundation establishment with ease, yet it appeared that the Hua family was courting disaster. Oh, is that so? A mere mortal possesses such gall? Excellent, splendid. I hope you do not tarry too long. When I return, I shall entertain you properly, Hua Shuo remarked, a cold smirk gracing his lips as he turned to leave. Darling, it is nothing, he dares not act. Noticing Su Yixue's concern, Lin Bufan gently patted her hand. Though he withheld one thought, if Hua Shuo dared to overstep, he would not hesitate to eradicate the roots of the Hua family. Though he may not be able to contend with the entire clan, dealing with this one would be well within his capabilities. Ignoring the whispers of the crowd, Su Yixue and Lin Bufan swiftly departed. At the Su residence. Ha, Bufan, I have awaited your arrival for quite some time. Upon Lin Bufan and Su Yixue's arrival at the Su family home, Su Ming emerged from the study to greet them, accompanied by several members of the Su family. Uncle, I am Lin Bufan. After all, he was his esteemed father-in-law, and manners were to be upheld. As Lin Bufan spoke, a box materialized in his hand, which he placed upon the table. These are some 3rd-grade medicinal pills, along with 2 tomes of profound techniques, as a token of respect for my uncle. Ha, Bufan. You are far too courteous. Last year, the Qingyun Sect alleviated the Su family's plight, which was already the finest gift. Come, have a seat. Allow me to introduce you. Su Ming then began to introduce the members of the Su family. In an instant, all eyes were upon Lin Bufan, who greeted each one in kind. However, he soon felt a rather unfriendly gaze directed at him. He turned to find it belonged to Su Yixue's younger uncle. Strange, is this not our first meeting? Why does he harbor such hostility? Lin Bufan remained vigilant as he continued to engage in pleasantries with Su Ming. Meanwhile, Su Yixue had been led aside by her mother, the two whispering to one another. Humph, why the excessive courtesy? He is merely a mortal, unworthy of my sister. At that moment, a boy of around 10 years old spoke up. Chapter 27, The Heavenly Phoenix Secret Realm. Zijuan, you must not be disrespectful. Su Ming's expression changed abruptly as he spoke. Father, it is indeed true. My second sister is such a kind-hearted person, and yet she is married to a mere mortal. After decades, this mortal has become nothing but a skeleton. Is my sister destined to live in widowhood? Su Zijuan stepped forward, pointing at Lin Bufan. Ah, what a surprise. It turns out to be my little brother-in-law. Su Zijuan wore an air of arrogance. He rarely expressed anger. After he stepped forward, Su Yixue's uncle chuckled, his hostile gaze diminishing considerably. What a bold one you are. Enough. Step back. Su Ming bellowed, and Su Zijuan, his face flushed with indignation, returned to his original position. Snorting coldly, my apologies, dear nephew. My son requires discipline. Please do not take it to heart. Not at all. Children speak without restraint. It is evident that Yixue and Zijuan share a close bond, which brings me great joy. Lin Bufan dismissed the child with indifference. That is good to hear. I wonder about my granddaughter. Su Ming had already noted that Lin Bufan and Su Yixue had returned without the child, thwarting his desire to embrace his granddaughter. Father, Yue is still too young, and she has been accepted as a disciple by the leader of Qingyun Sect. She will officially join next year as a direct disciple. Su Yixue chimed in with a smile. A direct disciple? Haha, this is indeed wonderful news. Who doesn't know the privileges of a direct disciple? Su Ming's enthusiasm surged. Though Su Zijuan felt discontent, he recognized the significance of this status. Nevertheless, he could not shake his dislike for his brother-in-law. Zijuan, you must not speak to your brother-in-law in such a manner, do you understand? He is your sister's husband. Furthermore, who told you he cannot cultivate? He is currently at the 1st level of qi refinement. If you truly care for your sister, why not assist your brother-in-law in enhancing his cultivation and protect him? Still, it is family that matters most, Su Yixue said, patting Zijuan on the shoulder. Su Zijuan pouted. Humph, he is only at the 1st level of qi refinement. I am already at the 6th. At 15, Su Zijuan was in his rebellious phase, standing at a respectable height of 1.70 meters. Little rascal. You must not act like that. Su Yixue playfully tapped his head. You've grown taller. I can hardly reach your head anymore. Hee. Su Zijuan rubbed the back of his head. Sister, how old am I now? I will be laughed at. This remark elicited laughter from those present. All right, let us prepare for dinner. Bufan, it must be your first time coming down from the mountain, so stay a few more days at the Su residence. Let Yixue accompany you around Qingkong City. Su Ming expressed satisfaction at the harmonious relationships among his children before turning to Lin Bufan. All right, I understand, father. It has been a long time since I last returned. The next time I come back, it will likely be another year or two. Su Yixue added, a hint of nostalgia in her voice. Hee, you are going to have to return, old master. Yixue is pregnant again. Yixue's mother interjected at that moment. What? Pregnant again? Su Ming turned to Lin Bufan, contemplating the man's lack of cultivation skills, yet marveling at his prolificacy in fathering children. Never mind, after all, his daughter was exceptionally beautiful. Father, rest assured, for I have successfully reached the foundational stage, an achievement I owe greatly to Bufan, who generously provided me with resources from Xiao Yunfeng and guided me in cultivating advanced techniques. Wonderful. Upon my return, I bring an abundance of good news for Su Ming. Hardly letting go of Lin Bufan during our meals. He is not merely a son-in-law. He serves as a vital bridge between the Su family and the Qingyun Sect. Meanwhile, Lin Bufan enjoyed 2 leisurely days at the Su residence, indulged in fine dining, and was taken on a tour by Su Yixue, who regaled him with stories from her childhood. However, 3,000 miles away, atop a certain mountain peak, a sudden burst of fire shot skyward. Something significant is occurring over there. Let us hasten. It could either be a rare treasure or someone engaging in momentous activities. This area, a mountain range on the fringes of the eastern wilderness, is a favored destination for cultivators. It is known as Luofeng Mountain, reputedly the site where a phoenix fell during ancient times. Although no phoenixes have been sighted for millennia, the region is teeming with exotic beasts. As one ventures deeper, the strength of these creatures escalates, and within this secluded wilderness, there exists an abundance of heavenly materials and treasures. The fire burst originated from within, instantly capturing the attention of hundreds of treasure-seeking cultivators at Luofeng Mountain. They soon discovered a ravine, its surroundings barren for a kilometer, with charred remnants evident. Within the crevices of the ravine, waves of intense heat were palpable, and powerful flames occasionally surged skyward. This was an undeveloped secret realm. Let us enter. The first arrivals, filled with exhilaration, dashed inside, but upon triggering the formation, a fiery explosion ensued, incinerating 3 of the 5 individuals. The remaining 2 hastily summoned protective artifacts. 3 dead. Alarmed, the 2 quickly expanded their spiritual senses. Damn, the secret realm is not yet open. Recklessly intruding will lead to obliteration by flames. It requires at least 3 days to fully activate. Jade slips flew forth, as individuals called upon their companions. Small secret realms typically contain the layers of powerful cultivators or remnants of ancient mysteries, forming their own worlds and housing numerous relics from bygone eras. For today as cultivators, such places represent immense opportunities, albeit fraught with peril. As flames erupted multiple times, the number of seekers swiftly surpassed 1,000. Meanwhile, a mountain situated a dozen miles from the ravine offered an unobstructed view of the unfolding scene. Is this the method of the Xiao sect? Suyu turned to the figure clad in black robes beside him. He chuckled. Isn't the splendid? This secret realm is indeed ours, a modest one, yet sufficient to attract countless individuals. Fear not. Only those at the Qi refining and foundation establishment stages may enter. Can you imagine whether Ji Jinyu, at the 9th level of foundation establishment, will come? As the black-robed man finished speaking, 20 disciples at the 8th level of foundation establishment approached from behind him. Su Yu's eyes brightened as he sensed the terrifying power of the Xiao sect, which had effortlessly summoned 20 disciples at the 8th level of foundation establishment. Once inside, unless the opposing side boasted 5 at the 9th level, the odds were stacked in his favor. I have already disseminated the information that a hidden realm of the Tianfeng has emerged here, but only for a few days. It is rumored to contain a plethora of phoenix inheritances and fire-based artifacts, accessible solely to those at the Qi refinement and foundation establishment stages. This revelation ignited Su Yu's interest. It was likely that no formidable adversaries would arrive, and the attendees would predominantly be foundation establishment disciples. Given that the opposing side consisted of foundation establishment practitioners, he, too, could venture inside, as his cultivation was at the 7th level of foundation establishment. The Su brothers had never neglected their training, and reaching the 7th level by their 30s was commendable. Chapter 28. One by one, they depart the city, my dear. Look at this. Over the past few days, Lin Bufan and Su Yixue had thoroughly explored the bustling Qingkong city. It may not be vast, but it was indeed vibrant, teeming with various delicacies. While it didn't rival the culinary diversity of the previous Blue Star, it certainly surpassed the offerings atop the Shaoyan Peak of the Qingyun Sect. This provided Lin Bufan, who had not descended the mountain for 2 decades, with a delightful experience. However, his descent was not solely for leisure. He also visited several shops to survey the prices of elixirs, herbs, and artifacts, thus gaining a clearer understanding of the market. Presently, Lin Bufan, Though significantly wealthier than his fellow Foundation establishment disciples, having most of the resources from Xiaoyan Peak at his disposal, still found his cultivation needs to be somewhat lacking. His training resources necessitated at least 3 times more than others. Do you fancy it? Then purchase it. Lin Bufan was not one to skimp on cosmetics and adornments. In the pursuit of beauty for her beloved, Su Yixue adorned herself with these embellishments, and Lin Bufan found her appearance most pleasing. Thank you, dear husband, she chuckled, as she handed her purchases to her younger brother, Su Zijuan, who was trailing behind. Indeed, the two had taken along a little assistant, or rather, a young aide to carry their items. This was at Su Ming's behest, as Su Yixue was pregnant and Lin Bufan's cultivation was limited, making this young brother-in-law the most suitable companion, given that he had little else to occupy his time. It's fortunate you treat my sister well, otherwise. Over these few days, Su Zijuan had viewed Lin Bufan with a critical eye, but seeing his sister so content, especially after receiving numerous gifts of cosmetics and clothing, had somewhat softened his stance. Paying no heed to the mutterings of the young boy, Lin Bufan remained magnanimous. Just then, a sharp, thunderous roar echoed through the air. A crimson sword soared from the distance, hurtling into Qingyun City with an overwhelming aura. It was a transmission sword from a nascent soul cultivator, and its trajectory pointed towards the Qingyun Sect stronghold. The small blade landed directly in the chamber of the Qingyun Sect's residence. Lin Bufan's gaze flickered. The ability to relay messages through a nascent soul cultivator heralded impending developments. Indeed, in less than a few minutes, a group of over 30 emerged from the residence of the Qingyun Sect, making their way towards the outskirts of the city. At the forefront was a woman clad in flowing white garments, her raven hair cascading like a waterfall, and her serene countenance captivated the attention of countless onlookers within the city. Could that be Ji Jinhua? Truly, she resembles a celestial being. Cultivators inherently possess an extraordinary aura, yet Ji Jinhua exudes an air that commands reverence. It is said that she is a direct disciple of the esteemed master of the Duanyue Peak of Qingyun Sect. How beautiful! Mother, I wish to cultivate as well. Very well, when Qingyun Sect accepts disciples in the future, you shall join. This entourage, the center of attention, upon exiting the city, promptly summoned a spirit vessel. In an instant, a small boat materialized, and more than 20 individuals stood upon it, swiftly departing. Is that truly senior sister Ji Jinhua? She is exceptionally lovely. Su Yixue could not help but praise as she watched them leave. Oh, the Hu family has arrived. Just then, a carriage approached, drawn by horses, and behind it was a woman reclining on a soft couch, her body gracefully inclined, adorned in delicate pink attire. Her right hand propped against her forehead. There was an air of delicate charm about her. Her appearance once again drew the eyes of the surrounding crowd. Another beauty? This woman, while not quite on par with Ji Jinhua, possessed an alluring charm, her beauty comparable to that of Su Yixue. Who you? Lin Bufan, standing beside Su Yixue, revealed her identity. Unfazed by the throngs of spectators, Hu was directly escorted away by over 50 individuals. How peculiar! Why is everyone leaving the city? Su Yixue felt a twinge of confusion. At that moment, Su Ming also arrived, accompanied by another group of over 30. Father. Upon seeing her father and uncle, Su Yixue could no longer contain herself and rushed forward to greet them. Yixue, I was just looking for someone to inform you. I have matters to attend to in the coming days and must be away for a while. You and Bufan can return to keep your mother company. If you wish to leave Qingyun City, it would be best to return soon, for your health and the baby's sake. Su Ming gazed at his daughter with a touch of affection in his eyes. Father, what is happening? Why are both the Qingyun Sect and the Hu family departing? Su Yixue was not keen on such discussions. A secret realm has appeared 3,000 miles to the southeast, accessible only to Qi refining and foundation establishment practitioners. The major sects dismiss it, but many cultivation families have gone. I too wish to seek my fortune. Su Ming spoke with gravity. A secret realm? Lin Bufan's eyes lit up. No wonder. Father, Su Yixue expressed her desire to join. Enough. Be obedient. You are with child. And it would be best to return early. Remember to bring the grandchild back next year. Su Ming smiled, turning to lead his group out of the city. Lin Bufan felt a surge of excitement. A secret realm. Although he had never been to one, it sounded quite remarkable. He wished to go, but Su Yixue remained here. Yixue, go back and bid your mother farewell. We shall return to Qingyun Sect. We have been away for a few days. And little you must be wondering how we fare. Lin Bufan remarked. Very well, let us return and inform mother, Su Yixue said to Su Zijuan. Zijuan, with father absent, you must look after the household, do you understand? Rest assured, second sister, I am no longer a child. After conversing with Su Yixue's mother, Lin Bufan and Su Yixue took their leave. Su Zijuan, filled with reluctance, could only accompany them to the foot of Qingyun Sect, watching as they ascended the mountain. Upon escorting Su Yixue back to Xiaoyan Peak, Lin Bufan fabricated an excuse about feeling the need to enter seclusion for a breakthrough. Though Su Yixue was aware that Lin Bufan was nearing the foundational stage of cultivation, she assumed he sought a place to meditate. Yet Lin Bufan's figure soon reappeared at the foot of Qingyun Sect, swiftly vanishing into the distance. 3,000 miles away, a considerable distance indeed. However, it seems my father's pack contains a means of transportation. Before long, he discovered a small boat in Lin Yuan's backpack. This boat bore a resemblance to the one previously owned by Ji Jinwei, albeit in black and adorned with runes. Finding a secluded spot, he recited an incantation, and promptly, a black vessel over 20 meters in length materialized. My goodness, this is even larger than Ji Jinwei's. Once aboard, Lin Bufan adeptly maneuvered the vessel, which transformed into a fleeting shadow, covering several dozen miles in the blink of an eye. Chapter 29. The Secret Realm begins. Even Foundation establishment seekers come for opportunities? 3,000 miles away, outside the Secret Realm, combat had already commenced, and in an instant, the surrounding deadwood was reduced to ashes, while two figures battled fiercely. A colossal black hand descended from the heavens. Startled, the combatants attempted to evade, but it was too late. Moments ago, they had been formidable. Yet now they were reduced to mere pulp beneath that great hand. A figure cloaked in black robes appeared in the air, emanating a powerful aura. The Xiao Sect. In the realm of Foundation establishment, the Yuan Ying did not emerge. The Foundation establishment was king. In the central region of Luofeng Mountain, encounters with Foundation establishment cultivators were rare, and even if they did arrive, they would venture deep into Luofeng Mountain. As for Yuan Ying, sightings were even less frequent. All of you, cease at once. If you wish to live, behave yourselves. The voice of the figure in black was hoarse. As he descended, the onlookers discerned an elderly man, emaciated with disheveled white hair and a face lined with wrinkles. Upon his command, the crowd immediately halted, retreating as far as they could. Only a few disciples of the Xiao Sect remained close. Elder Kumu, the leader, was none other than the man in black robes beside Su Yu. Along with his disciples, those who wish to live, keep your distance. The elder's cold gaze swept across the surroundings, causing the crowd to retreat even further. The Xiao Sect, this secret realm lies within Luofeng Mountain. It does not belong to you. Do you intend to monopolize it? A man, unable to tolerate the situation, pointed at them. At the moment the man spoke, Elder Kumu tapped his staff, and in an instant, a vine appeared beneath the man, rising to over a person's height and piercing through his body. You. The man was taken aback, having uttered but a single phrase. Yet his flesh and blood had entirely transformed into crimson liquid, absorbed by the creeping vines. Soon, only a lifeless corpse and tattered garments remained on the ground. The surrounding onlookers, stricken with fear, recoiled once more. Ah, the black shaman's might is truly formidable. At that moment, an elderly woman arrived, accompanied by 30 or so women. The people of the 100-Flower Valley. This matron, possessing the cultivation of the core formation stage, approached with a knowing smile. Madam Shi. Your 100-Flower Valley receives tidings with remarkable swiftness, spoke Kumu. Humph. Yet you, from the Black Shaman, are the farthest from here, yet have arrived first. Madam, she retorted, her own imposing aura unfurling as she neared. Madam Shi, do you harbor grievances against our Black Shaman? Kumu responded with a grin. Grievances are not mine alone. I believe Taoist Wu Feng shares similar sentiments, Madam Shi remarked, casting her gaze towards a certain direction, where a figure emerged. The air around him shimmering as a man with a goatee appeared. Madam Shi, you jest. The balance of good and evil in this world is predetermined, Wu Feng declared. And at his words, a small vessel descended from the heavens, revealing Ji Jinwei and others, who immediately approached to pay their respects upon seeing Wu Feng. The disciples of the Qingyun Sect also arrived, making the scene all the more lively. Kumu, noticing the presence of the two other sects, couldn't help but laugh heartily. Elder Kumu, opportunities in this world are for those with fate. The emergence of the secret realm is a boon for all cultivators. Why not assume the role of peacekeepers and let the younger generation contend? What say you? Madam, she proposed, surveying the surrounding cultivators. Agreed. Our black shaman is not unreasonable. As long as there is no collective hostility, as for the interior, let the youngsters compete. After all, those in the core formation stage cannot enter. Elder Kumu readily acquiesced, leaving both Madam Shi and Wu Feng momentarily astonished. When did the black shaman become so amenable? Do not be surprised. I consider the younger generation as well. There are at least 3,000 people here, right? Those below the core formation stage are welcome to enter. Be they from the three major sects, illustrious families, or lone cultivators. Elder Kumu reiterated. Very well, observing the formation, it should be soon. Let us not engage in internal strife that would delay the opening of the small world. Should you wish to battle, do so within. Thank you." The surrounding crowd expressed their gratitude. Half an hour later, the radiance within the mountain gorge intensified, erupting in successive bursts. And the three core formation cultivators exchanged glances of excitement. "It has opened. If we do not enter now, when shall we?" In an instant, the disciples of the Black Shaman, 100 Flower Valley, and Qingyun Sect swiftly made their way inside, followed closely by the lone cultivators. With 3,000 individuals needing to enter, it would require some time. Naturally, the disciples of the three major sects were at the forefront, none daring to provoke them. Among the throng stood a figure, obscured by tattered garments, clutching an exceptionally exaggerated blade, having waited patiently beneath a tree until the lone cultivators had entered, before finally rising to his feet. The three major sects, the Su family and the Hu family, have all arrived. With so many loose cultivators around, it is unlikely that anyone would recognize me. However, I did not anticipate the presence of a few golden core cultivators, presumably from other cultivation families. Su Ishua's father is also a golden core practitioner. This individual is none other than Lin Bufan, who arrived early. Although he delayed a bit while escorting Su Ishua back to the mountain, he managed to catch up due to the potency of his flying vessel. He deliberately lagged behind to blend into the crowd. There are many solitary loose cultivators like him, so he does not attract attention. As he made his way further in, Lin Bufan licked his lips and stepped towards the mountain gorge. This small secret realm only allows those at the foundation establishment and chi refining stages to enter. With his current level of cultivation, he should be cautious but otherwise safe. Initially hesitant to take risks, necessity now compels him to venture forth. He is in dire need of resources, abundant resources. He has already identified valuable materials in Qingyun City, which can also be sold for profit. Only upon reaching the golden core stage will he feel a sense of security. How intriguing. This secret realm is accessible to all cultivators, yet there are chi refining stage novices daring to enter. Are they not afraid of death? Just as Lin Bufan was about to step into the gorge, Elder Kumu suddenly burst into laughter. He tapped his staff on the ground, and it seemed as though a living entity had instantly arrived. Initially, Lin Bufan believed he would go unnoticed, particularly as a mere chi refining stage practitioner. But he soon realized he was mistaken. When a golden core cultivator tested him with a strike, he lacked the courage to respond. Even if he were not gravely injured, he would still be exposed. Channeling his physical strength to its limit, he dashed toward the gorge. Boom. In an instant, the ground where Lin Bufan stood exploded, and he spat out a mouthful of blood as he fell into the gorge. Oh, his physical strength is commendable. He did not perish? Elder Kumu was puzzled. Although he was merely testing, even foundation establishment cultivators would be severely injured. A chi refining novice withstood the blow? Why trouble a mere child, Elder Kumu? Madam, she chuckled as she intervened. Just a curiosity, nothing more. Elder Kumu concluded, then resumed his meditative state. Chapter 30. Is this the might of foundation establishment? By my ancestors. Despite Lin Bufan's repeated forbearance, relying solely on his physical strength, he was still injured. Elder Kumu's casual strike had caused some internal damage. Fortunately, Lin Bufan's physical fortitude is formidable. Had it been an ordinary chi refining practitioner, even one at the 9th level would have been grievously harmed. After tumbling several times upon landing in the formation within the gorge, Lin Bufan finally came to a halt. When he looked up, he found himself in a world suffused with a crimson aura. The formation had transported him randomly. Surveying his surroundings, he noticed no other individuals. The area was shrouded in a dark red mist, revealing only barren stones beneath his feet. Beyond a few shattered rocks, visibility extended no further than 100 meters. Is this the small world? Lin Bufan sensed the spiritual energy here and discovered that it was infused with a fervent and violent essence. The atmosphere in this place is saturated with energy, and excessive absorption may lead one to madness. It would be prudent to conserve one's spiritual power. Could it be that the majestic Luofeng mountain truly bears witness to the fall of a phoenix? Prior to my arrival, Lin Bufan had overheard various discussions, gaining some insight into the circumstances here. Remaining stationary is not a viable option. I must venture further inside, though I am uncertain if I will encounter anyone. Recalling the Su family, the Hu family, and the Qingyun Sect, Lin Bufan concealed himself and sought out areas rich in spiritual energy. This is a miniature world. The core should possess the densest concentration of spiritual energy. By attuning myself to the levels of spiritual energy, I should be able to locate it swiftly. With this thought in mind, Lin Bufan sensed the energy around him and proceeded inward. The oppressive heat grew increasingly intense. The searing aura, previously detectable outside the formation, along with the surging flames, did not manifest without cause. They emanated from within this secret realm. After less than half an hour, Lin Bufan found the heat unbearable. estimating that anyone below the 5th level of Qi refinement would sustain injuries merely by traversing this area. During this time, he also noted that the small world consisted of rolling hills, which once harbored vegetation, but now only charred, lifeless trunks remained. As for its size, Lin Bufan could not ascertain, though it felt larger than the gates of the Qingyun Sect. Just as impatience began to creep in, Lin Bufan suddenly heard a faint sound behind him. He swiftly concealed himself behind a large rock, stifling his presence. Odd, where have the others gone? Did I lose them? Within 10 breaths, 2 individuals approached from behind. Their attire did not belong to the 3 major sects, indicating they were either from influential families or rogue cultivators. Upon their arrival, they stood in the very spot Lin Bufan had occupied, scrutinizing the surroundings for traces. Their cultivation appeared to be at the 5th or 6th level of foundation establishment. These rascals moved too swiftly. It's hard to believe that a mere Qi refinement practitioner could reach this place without concealing their true power. Cursed be their speed, for it hinders my endeavors. Clearly, these 2 regarded Lin Bufan as easy prey. Gentlemen, there is no need for regret. I am right here, am I not? Having shadowed me for so long. It's evident you seek something from me. Just as they prepared to depart, Lin Bufan emerged from his hiding place. His sudden appearance startled them. Upon recognizing Lin Bufan, their excitement was palpable. Aha, young lad, we thought you had fled. It seems you were merely hiding. To conceal your cultivation at the 1st level of Qi refinement, and yet dare to face us, you must possess some treasure. Thus, the reason for their pursuit became apparent. Lin Bufan realized that his suppressed cultivation had raised their suspicions about his presence in this secret realm. Indeed, you have uncovered my secret. I possess a treasure that allows me to master my cultivation at the 1st level of Qi refinement. Now, let us see if you possess the ability to claim it. Lin Bufan immediately assumed a proud demeanor, as if to say, I possess treasures. Come and claim them. The 2 individuals exchanged glances, then regarded Lin Bufan as one would a fool, who among them was unaware that wealth should remain concealed. This young cultivator had indeed confessed. Very well, then. Let us not be blamed. With that, the 2 advanced, one wielding a sword and the other a blade. The man with the large beard stepped forward. His massive sword raised high above his head, and with a swift motion, he brought it crashing down, unleashing a formidable blade aura from the heavens. The other individual, channeling his energy, ignited his sword in flames. As he pointed it at Lin Bufan, the fiery blade erupted with a thunderous roar, racing towards him. Was this the power of the foundation establishment stage? Since Lin Bufan had ascended to this level, he had never engaged in combat. Upon reaching foundation establishment, one could unleash the potent might of their magical artifacts, infusing them with true energy, a far cry from the minor techniques of the Qi refinement stage. As the 2 attacks bore down upon him, Lin Bufan, even at the 9th level of foundation establishment, did not underestimate them. No one wished to suffer an unprovoked strike. Yet, he felt compelled to test the waters and gauge the true prowess of these cultivators at the 5th and 6th levels of foundation establishment. With that thought, his dragon roar spear materialized in his grasp, and he poured all his true energy into it, luring the snake from its den. In an instant, the spear transformed into a colossal silver serpent, consuming both the blade aura and sword energy. Boom! In a heartbeat, energy exploded, sending shockwaves rippling through the surroundings. Impossible. No. You are not merely at the Qi refinement stage. You are at foundation establishment. The 2 were taken aback, realizing that their spells had failed to overpower Lin Bufan, who must be of the same cultivation tier. They had been deceived. Alas, their calculations were amiss, and there would be no reward for their folly. The explosive sound had been deafening, undoubtedly attracting numerous onlookers. The attacks of those at the 5th and 6th levels of foundation establishment were trivial. He wished to avoid unnecessary trouble, prioritizing a swift resolution. This is bad, we must retreat. In that fleeting moment, Lin Bufan's aura surged, swiftly surpassing the 6th layer. Then the 7th, and finally the 8th. This left the 2 men thoroughly alarmed. They had anticipated encountering an easy target, only to confront a wolf instead. Leave him be. Lin Bufan twirled his spear, unleashing the venomous dragon drill. Spare us, esteemed senior. The 2, now paralyzed by fear, realized that such an assault would surely spell their doom. Boom. In the aftermath of the explosion, a 5-meter-long scar marred the ground, alongside the shattered remains of 2 bodies. Lin Bufan suddenly glanced to his right, and with a flick of his wrist, 2 storage bags soared into his hands. He then concealed his aura and vanished swiftly into the crimson mist. Just 2 minutes after his disappearance, a squad of cloaked figures arrived. They surveyed the scene, and the leader lifted his gaze to scan the surroundings. Be cautious. A powerful foe has preceded us. Increase our speed and hasten to the Phoenix Temple. Yes,